my puff boom kid, I never get skied. I don't sniff or shoot up, rip or stick my boot up your ass quick, fast, everlast, don't jive. Just like Pearl Jam, I'm still alive. Look at all these rumors, spreading like tumors, gossiping lies, exaggerated reports of my demise. And if you believe them, well then you got gas. The media deceived them just like in the past. Cause I'm back from the dead, everlast coming back from the dead. Back from the dead. You know I'm back from the dead, and I'll put the freaking hole in your head. Back from the dead. Back from the dead. Like Steven Seagal, I'm hard to kill. Like G.G. Allen, I'm crazy ill. I'll beat you down with my mic, kick your ass with my knife, bust you in the eye if you tell another lie. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Thinking I'm dead, you must be smoking dust. Come see me bust in the flesh, it's a must. Cause I'm back from the dead, everlast coming back from the dead. Back from the dead. You know we're back from the dead. House of Pain's in effect, enough said. Back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead.
Hey, what's up, weirdos? It's Mark Splude, and this is episode 92 of the Spludecast. My guest this week. Oh man, it was nice to have this guy back on. He hasn't been on this show for well over a year, since episode 57. My guest this week, the original gangster of the St. John comedy scene, Mr. Shane Ogden. Shane made his first appearance here at the new Spludecast Studios. Came over on a Saturday morning, 10 a.m. sharp. Not exactly. It's funny because the last time the Rev was on, he was supposed to be here at 9 a.m. and he got here at 2:30. At least Mr. Shane Ogden was only 30 minutes late. No big deal. Anyway, yeah, Shane came over, and great to see Shane, man. We sat down and talked. Fuck, man, what didn't we talk about? We talked about comedy. We talked about relationships in comedy, comedy beefs, the new comedy scene, all the other local comics. Man, we mental illness we talked about. What the fuck else did we talk about? Man, we just talked about everything. Kids, family. You know, it was great to sit down and catch up with Shane Ogden. You know, there's a few things we didn't get to that I wanted to. I wanted to delve into a little bit of that Chuckles Comedy Club Hard Times controversy. We brought it up once. We were hoping to get back to it. We never did. So many different things that I wanted to talk to Shane about that we didn't quite get to. And that is great fucking news, because it means I'm going to have him back on again real soon. And we'll hit those subjects and whatever comes up in between that time. Great to see Shane, man. Right now, he's real excited. He's got some good shows coming up. Really happy for him, man. He's rekindled his love with comedy. Shane's a good comic, man. You know, a lot of people talk shit about him. I think on St. John Ford Radio, jokingly, John called him street jokes. Shane Ogden, man, in my opinion, Shane is a good comic, man. He's a damn good comic. He was the first guy to be doing it here in this area, and he's still doing it, and he's still at the top. So, and what I love about Shane is he's an old school guy, man. He's been in the business a long time, 21, 22 years, something like that. And he's still not happy with where he's at in comedy. He's not happy with his material. He's constantly trying to improve, and he's always writing new material. And he talks about this a bit, but he's in a place right now where he's gonna, he's trying to, much like myself, burn all the old material and start new. It's a terrifying venture. But yeah, man, this is a great chat I got coming up with Shane. It's coming up right after what's been going on with me lately. This is going to be a very short segment, man. This podcast with Shane, she's a fucking doozy, man. It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. We're going to get right into the chat. Because really the only thing that's been going on with me lately is this fucking back of mine. My back is fucking demoed. It's had me laying down, looking up on the ceiling, looking up at the ceiling. More often than not, lately, it's fucking killing me. I went to the hospital. You know the fucking deal. You go to the emergency rooms in this area, they give you some Advil and wish you good luck and send you on your fucking way. What a colossal waste of time I've spent at the hospital lately for this back. They've done nothing. Whatever, man. I got to tough it out. You know, I got to find a way to fucking get through it. I got a big fishing trip that I've really been looking forward to. I've got that coming up tomorrow. Not sure if I'm going to be able to make it, man. The prospect of sitting in a boat for 6 or 8 hours, it's got me fucking shaking right now. I mean, that's, you know, it's a terrifying idea. But anyway, I'm hoping maybe I'll get some more rest tonight and wake up tomorrow and it's a fucking miracle. My back is all better and let's go fishing. Probably what's going to happen is I'm going to get up. It's going to hurt. I'm going to go anyway. And then I'm really going to fucking suffer once I come home. I don't know what's going on there. Not much to report, man. Certainly nothing to report in comedy. I haven't gone out to any shows. You know, I was planning on going to No Jokes Barred Deluxe Friday night. St. John Ford was closing that out. And there was a lot of people on the show that I wanted to, you know, see on stage and more importantly, see in person and say hello to. Unfortunately, I was up at the hospital Friday night. And no way I was going to a show. There's a UFC on that I was supposed to watch for the Scrap Cast, and I didn't end up watching that. So yeah, it's been a tough fucking go. I'm not gonna sit on here and whine and complain for too goddamn long. The Spludecast episode 92 with Shane Ogden is Jesus Christ. I don't know what just happened to me, but here it is. Shane Ogden, episode 92. Driver into you. No.
Don't let me know, man.
I mean, normally, Shane, when we record, we try to do like a sound check, that sort of thing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because this is like a professional thing.
Yeah, sort of.
I feel like I'm a little bit echoey, but is that good?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy. I'm running the fucking mixer, Shane.
That's right.
So anyway, we're already, the closer you are to this mic, the clearer.
Better.
Yeah, the clearer it'll pick you up.
But I don't want to drool my coffee on your nice new microphone.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Look at this setup.
Yeah, it's a pretty good setup, right?
It's a pretty good setup, man.
Yeah,
this is what Daddy needs. And I call myself Daddy now.
I do the same thing.
I don't call myself Daddy. I'm just fucking with
It's
you.
not your new thing? Good, because it's already my fucking thing, Shane.
I think it'd be. I'd feel stupid to call myself Daddy.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say here?
I don't know.
I just told you that's what I call myself.
But you can pull it off. You know, you got the tattoos and the outdoorsman kind of feel.
Is that a daddy or is that like a deadbeat daddy? Really?
Yeah, I guess. If you're not around a lot.
That's what I'll call myself, deadbeat daddy.
Yeah.
Deadbeat daddy don't play that shit. That's got a good ring to it.
Deadbeat daddy. That's your new book or something?
What the fuck is going on? Shane Ogden, I haven't seen you in a long time. You haven't been on this podcast in fucking almost 40 episodes.
Has it been that long?
It's been over a year.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do listen, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
I do.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about the podcast is nowadays?
I love the episodes where you have your family on. Like I love the episode with Jamie. Or the episodes, multiple.
Yeah.
Plural. Yes.
Yeah.
And all of the above. And of course I listened in on the last episode with Bubba.
Yes.
And that was awesome.
That was interesting.
That was so cool of you to do that with your son.
Yeah,
awesome.
I was surprised. I thought it was about time. You know, he's 14, but he's pretty mature. You know, he's got a job. He's got a girlfriend, you know.
Yeah, I made his top 10 list.
Yes, you did.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like,
he's a fan.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a fan.
That's so awesome. And
he's always been a fan of Shane Ogden.
Well, that's so...
Not the person, like the comic.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely not the person. Yeah.
Because there are two people, really.
That's right. And there may be more in there. I'm finding more and more.
You're finding more of them?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. How many personalities are you up to now?
I don't know.
What have they diagnosed so far?
You're
Jerry the Turtle, for sure.
I'm so far behind on diagnosis because I haven't been to seek medical professionals in a long time.
Right.
But, I definitely got to go back to counseling, man.
You were going to counseling?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I find that, everybody says, "Oh, my mental illness," but my particular problem.
I don't fucking say that, but
my particular problem is I feel like the whole world is out to get me all the time.
Right.
It's super fun.
Really? I would have never guessed that about you, Shane. I mean, this is a fucking big revelation here.
I'm like
breaking news.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. I know you're out to get me. I know what you've been out to get me the whole time. And he's like, I'm your father. Right. I'm not out to get you, man. I taught you how to mow a lawn.
Do you ever scream that like in the mirror at all?
No.
I know you are. You're fucking sabotaging me.
Ah, shit! You're so funny.
What's going on? What's going on in your comedy world right now? We'll get to your personal life and all that stuff because I want to dig deep here. But
yeah, sure.
What's going on with your comedy right now? When's the last time you performed? First of all, you've been doing some yucks gigs and stuff, right?
Not lately.
Okay, we'll talk shit about them then.
They're coming up.
Oh, you got more coming up.
Yeah, I'm on the Matt Keenan showcase.
That's right.
He's putting together.
Yeah, that's right.
He asked me, "What do you want your bio? Do you have a bio that you'd put? All your braggadocious. You've opened for this and you've done that."
Right.
And I go to him. I go, I don't plan on killing.
Yeah.
I really do plan on bombing.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I'm so afraid of right now. But I have to start over. I just can't do my material anymore. I gotta start fresh.
Yeah.
And I'm starting fresh at a New Brunswick showcase.
Good.
Talent showcase at Yuck Yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't really performed since that night that your wife bartended. Your wife and Melanie bartended.
Oh, the Irish show.
The
Irish show. Yeah. How did that show go?
Oh, man.
I heard it was fucking dynamite.
It was the show I wanted 40/20 to be.
40/20. What the
That
fuck
was 40 years.
Oh, okay, and 20 years on stage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was the moment.
I got all sweaty and with my button-up shirt, and some lady heckled me, and I handled it, but in a sort of nasty, uncharacteristic way. And the whole thing bothered me, and I cried in the fucking parking lot.
Did you? Oh no!
Jesus
I could
Christ,
tell you were
man,
upset that night.
Oh
that was, that was crazy.
It's $700 to rent that theater. Now I got a sponsor to pay for it, but to arrange all of that.
Yeah. And to have your big moment, more than anything, more than the money and all that shit, right? When this is your big fucking moment,
family's there.
Sam comes
all
out
my
and
best
crushes,
friends.
steps up and crushes.
Yeah.
And first of all, you did fucking great, but that bitch, man, that was a 20-minute interlude that you did not fucking need.
What is
in the middle of your set?
It's a fucking year later, and I'm still upset.
Yeah, exactly. Still mulling it over.
And that's more part of my mental illness, which I know we'll get into later. But I still fucking remember a kid that took a gun from one of my GI Joes. I know he took it, and I'm 41, and I know he fucking took it.
Right.
His name is Andrew Shepard. He's a lawyer, and he lives locally somewhere.
Really?
He's got a family, and I'm still upset with him.
If any listeners out there, if you know this, fuck
Andrew
Shepard. Oh fuck, I'll never forget the name. Don't you worry.
He's got my my Duke pistol. I know he took it. We were playing together in the woods.
Yeah.
Me and his brother Scott.
Sure, you went in with the gun.
Yeah, we went in with the gun.
Right.
We were playing. There's no way I lost it or misplaced it or
Yeah,
anything.
no
it
chance.
It was fucking
Oh,
him.
it was
I could
Shepard.
see it in his eyes.
Fucking dirty lawyer Shepard.
He's just probably the nicest guy on earth.
Who knows? He might be my prosecutor. Who knows?
That is how I know I do legitimately have something wrong with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, can I ask you something seriously? Because,
absolutely, man.
You know, I have. It's pretty often that people come on here and talk about
mental illness,
their mental illness and stuff. And
comedy. Comedy.
Here's. Do you think it makes it worse by acknowledging it so much? Like you got to talk about it, mention it. Honestly, I'm sure I've got my own fucking problems.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
I'm
a
sure
fair
I do.
Point.
I don't fucking dwell on them a lot. You know,
you're
do you
lucky.
think it makes it worse because you're always
Obsessive?
talking about it? Yeah. If you obsess
Probably.
over it, it's probably making it worse. You know?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all that whole like fake it till you make it thing, and you know, keep moving forward, and you know, and do.
But there's a fine line, right? To going, I'm going to completely ignore it.
Yeah.
Right. To I'm going to obsess over it. There's got to be somewhere in the middle. I think that's where I try to lie. Somewhere in the middle. Like, I know I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I try not to obsess over it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so healthy.
But not, you know, if you turn a blind eye to it, that's just as unhealthy.
Well, I admire that, and I want to strive to get to be more like that.
Right.
I guess I'm just going through this for the first time, you know? So I'm trying to figure out where that line is.
Yeah.
How can I, you know, make it a part of, acknowledge it, but not make it everything that I am.
Yeah.
So that's
not make
tough.
it every social media post.
That's right.
Now let me find a meme that really fucking, you know, establishes how I feel today, and let's post that fucking meme.
Or why don't, you know, I'm the same way with birthday cards and stuff.
Right.
I don't like going to the store and buying a pre-written birthday card.
No. You can't be doing that.
No. I like
for a significant loved one.
Yeah, I like to make one myself, or like make it my own. You know? So like if
let's face it, they're pretty expensive nowadays. These fucking cards.
Yeah,
right?
you know,
$5.99.
$7-8, whatever, with tax and all that. So, but one thing I did was, you know, I made a sympathy card. I got because I don't want to break out the Crayola crayons. I'm a 41-year-old man,
right?
So I take the sympathy card. Like, I'm so sorry you're going through this and all, you know. Right. And then I crossed out a few things, added a few things, and, you know, like, sorry you're with me. And, you know what I mean? Like, so for a birthday or whatever, happy birthday.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
So, like, well, I'm trying to make things, like, out of nothing, and it's hard to know exactly what to do. And I don't know why I started talking about greeting cards. There's a reason.
I love your humor because you're very honest in your humor. And people want to laugh, but then they also sort of don't want to laugh too hard because, hey, you know, this guy doesn't seem like he's having a great life right now.
Like my joke about rope.
Right, and that's one of my favorite. I love that.
Yeah, and the joke is, for your listeners,
you're gonna burn it here.
I've already burned it.
All right, burn it. Fucking burn it down.
No, because there's a sort of an addition to it that I've written.
Oh, you got a tag for it too.
Yeah, kind of.
All right.
Yeah, it's a theory. It's a, what do you call it? Premise.
Right.
But the joke is, So I'm suicidal. But and everybody gets nervous. I build up a bunch of tension, and I go, "It's okay, it's okay. You know, 1 in 3 Canadians have mental illness. You know, I'm one of those guys. You know, I'm just like you, except I get a little more excited when rope goes on sale, right? So people laugh. It's what you're talking about. That's why I brought it up, because you know they're like, oh my god, he might actually be. You know. So the things that I'm writing now are like, I'm ready to die.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's gonna grab the crowd by the balls.
I'm ready. Like, how much fucking Tupperware do you want to buy?
Yeah,
I've seen it before. I've seen all the movies. I've done all the things.
Sure.
Let somebody else mow the fucking lawn.
Yeah, your bucket list is complete.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I did it. What was it?
I've been telling you this for years anyway. You're fucking good. You know.
Yeah.
And finally, you're listening.
Yeah, that's right. Man, I got to tell you too, you're hilarious, man.
Oh, thank you.
You're one of my
That's
favorite.
not why I brought you on
comedians.
here, you know.
Yeah,
but I appreciate it.
I know that old Splud joke, zip up the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm telling you, man, like, you're one of my favorite comedians to watch, and you're very popular. For your listeners that might not know, you're a very popular comedian and you know, very, very talented. So I think you downplay that quite a bit.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm pretty early in, and you know, talking about the show you're about to do at Yucks, I did the first one, closed it out.
Yep.
And luckily for me, Steve Barnes didn't want to use the light that night, so lots of people went over their time,
Right.
and some of them fucking way over. By the time I hit the stage, the show was almost 2 hours in.
Yeah.
And they didn't have much laughter left.
That's a tough spot.
Yeah, it was a tough spot, man. And for me, I was doing 20 minutes, and at Yucks, every time I go to Yucks, that was only my third time. I want to do really fucking well when I go to Yucks.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel that.
I mean,
way,
I want to do really well, but there seems to be an extra little pressure, right? Maybe it's the chip on the shoulder from, you know, the beef we all had with Yucks in the beginning. It's almost like you want to give them a middle finger and go, see, you should have been fucking booking me all along. Basically, that's my feeling going in. And it was very surreal for me because I knew the material I was doing, I had been crushing with. And I was going to bring new material there, but I just got lazy. I got real lazy at the end before I took this little break.
Yeah.
And I got lazy and did the same material that I know is going to fucking get over. And here I am up there with the mic. I'm doing the material, and the room's flat. It's fucking flat. And it was devastating.
that hurts your soul.
Yeah, man. And I was just bewildered up there going, like, are you guys, like, am I in a room full of, like, you know what I mean?
No, you're just not connecting.
Yeah,
You
just
know what I
not
mean?
connecting.
And the thing is, it's easy to forget that you are so talented and so good. Like I'm going through that right now, where it's like, man, I know I can crush.
Yeah.
But I'm putting out these relatively new jokes, and the audience isn't digging it. And so then you got to think, am I a terrible entertainer?
Right.
Am I a terrible writer? Am I a terrible performer? Or was the former success that I had, was that just all like a fluke?
Yeah. Isn't that the worst feeling?
Your mind starts to poison itself.
Oh, big time.
But it's all a fucking lie, because
Yeah.
your mind will lie to you.
Oh, all the
then,
time.
And then when you hit one, you're just like when you do a good joke and you make people laugh really hard, you go, oh yeah, I'm Mark Splud.
And then the fucking ego comes rushing back. Isn't it weird? It's almost like a tide, right? If you do really well, that ego comes rushing in high tide.
You ever notice, like, after a night of comedy, sometimes you're exhausted?
Oh, yeah. Emotionally.
It's because that emotional roller coaster.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love, I can remember when you and I and Trevor went on that road trip to Bucktouche.
Yeah.
And how great the feeling was after, because we had all crushed.
Yeah.
It was a weird fucking experience, first of all.
Yeah, it was
right?
fun, though.
It was, listen, it's my favorite road trip.
I almost died laughing in that hotel room.
I know.
Like, I literally almost died.
I know.
Like, I was scared. Have you
Yeah.
ever laughed so hard that you were, like, scared that you'd never stop laughing? Your ribs hurt, like you can barely breathe.
Yeah.
Crying.
Yeah.
Crying
Oh,
like
we
a
were
little girl.
fucked up.
Oh,
we were fucking full of THC and pizza and fucking beer and good times. And
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good trip. But it's funny because we all did well, and we all went back to the hotel room, and we were just fucking glowing. And we had that all on a fucking recording, and we lost her.
Yeah.
And that's why I've since spent over $1,000 on recording equipment.
There you go. You're not going to miss anything else.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully
man.
not. Yeah.
And I've been writing some silly stuff, like, I should say that I've been jotting down experiences.
Nice.
That's
That's the same thing.
It's not, yeah, I guess. But like the other day, I've been bringing the thermos around.
Right.
Because I've been trying to save the $50,000 a week I spend on coffee.
Right. You drink a lot of coffee.
I do.
Yeah.
And so I bring a thermos around, because my normal work day, I'm just, better off saving a few dollars, right?
Sure.
So I'm like reaching for a pen because a genius idea has come to me, right?
Right.
All these amazing comedic ideas
Sure.
that I later bomb with. I bring the coffee over and I go to pour it, and I'm looking for a pen at the same time. I dump an entire lid of coffee right on my crotch.
Nice.
I have
middle of the workday.
Yeah, I have no. Oh, there's my alarm. Wake up, Shane.
Yeah, wake up, Shane. You're an hour late for the fucking podcast.
I know. I'm so late for everything now. That's another great thing. But so I got this coffee all over, and so right on my crotch, and it's like leaking towards my asshole, like my taint is wet.
Right.
And
Jeez, if you can feel that.
I stand up. I'm standing in the parking lot. I'm like, well, I haven't been called into work yet because I was on call.
Right.
It's sunny and windy, so I'll just stand here in this parking lot like a psychopath.
Yeah, well,
in front of Walmart.
Because first of all, coffee won't leave a stain anyway. Jesus
I've got
Christ.
no plan. I've got no money because I was like, normally I just buy a pair of fucking pants.
Sure.
Right? No, not an option.
Right.
So I'm standing in front of Walmart like a psychopath. Like, there is no difference between me and a homeless guy who maybe shit and pissed himself.
Okay, hold on. Why are you standing out in front of Walmart? Like, you're talking about standing in front of Walmart and getting called in. Are you waiting for someone to buy something and they're like, hey, you need someone to assemble that for you? Like, what do you...
My job is very boring. I'm hooking up hot water tanks right now.
Oh, nice.
So when they
just to like the panel? Like you're hooking the hot water tank to the panel, electrical stuff? Yeah, okay.
So, I'm just, I'm waiting for them to call me. They just call me when, somebody hot water tank, the elements burn out and they don't have hot, if anybody in the St. John area doesn't have hot water,
right,
they call me to fix it.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm waiting to do that in what appears to be feces soaked pants. and I'm like, man, I'm 41.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
What's going on?
You're only 41?
Yeah.
You motherfucker. I'm about to turn 43.
Oh man, you've got more wisdom.
You're supposed to be the elder statesman on this fucking scene, and you're younger than me.
I just act
damn
old.
it.
I just act really old.
So did you get to write the fucking joke down or not? Well, that situation became the joke. That's the great thing.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. And then, like, the best part of it was I just, like, jokes have to have a victim, and I find that most of the time it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That becomes a problem because if you're too self-deprecating, then people are like, oh.
Yeah.
I want them to have fun.
Yeah, they don't buy it if it's all against you.
No, that's right.
That's right. It's another one of those delicate balances where you have to, pick a victim, pick on them, but then turn the gun on you a little bit and then back to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've been working on some like misdirection stuff like well, even today, I was outside walking the two dogs. I got two dogs, Sparkle and Taz. One's black, one's white, little mixed mutt hounds, and I love them. They get excited when they see me, and they're my friends. And the little white one, Taz, he'll howl when I come in the door. Ooh, he gets excited.
Oh, nice.
He's cute.
I heard he's out to get you, by the way.
Oh, Taz?
I'd watch him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, I love him so much, and he turns on me. No, but anyway, so I hook up the dogs to the leash there, and they get their path that they go,
Right.
And they got to go so far or they won't poop, Sure. And so we have an understanding, and I'm like, you know what? I was thinking it'd be nice to maybe take some headphones with me,
Sure.
Put in, make some music, put music, Spotify or whatever on.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. No. You know why? Because it's nature, man. I want to hear the wind go through the leaves. So I did that. I walked up and I heard the birds chirping, and I heard, I must have been like at least a skunk or some moose or some. There's something in the woods that didn't sound too heavy, so I didn't think it was a moose. It was
right.
Like, maybe it's just a bird, and like the sounds amplified from the wind. Like, wow, in nature, and then I thought, this is really fucking boring. I should have brought my headphones. So that's my misdirection joke.
Yeah,
So I got to set it up like all beautiful and, get people, paint this picture for people that it's really a wonderful experience. Like, this is fucking boring.
Yeah, this is fucking stupid.
That's my punchline. This is fucking boring.
Nature, we don't fucking need you anymore. Okay, we got headphones.
Yeah. So
if I want to hear you, I can just go on Spotify and put nature sound.
Let's talk about my Peter Pan book, because this is probably the gayest thing you've ever seen.
Whoa, what the fuck are we doing here? That's not just your book. That's your fucking Neverland passport.
This is a Neverland passport.
What the fuck is it? Yeah, we're getting props to the show now. I fucking love it.
Yes.
This is the first prop on the show.
This is a Neverland passport, and really all it is a notebook.
Right.
And I write down my ideas.
Oh, this is your joke book.
This is a joke book.
Oh, nice.
And the reason that I got this was because I had have present tense.
Yes.
I have a friend in Calgary. Her name is Danny Spencer, and she's married to a gentleman named Joe. There was never any funny business between us.
Right. Well, Joe sounds like an asshole anyway. I'll just tell you that.
No, Joe's a really nice guy. And these are some of the few people that I feel are not out to get me.
Right. Yet.
Yet. The day is young. So she was the first one to support me in comedy, and when I was out in Calgary and stuff, and other people were kind of dismissive of me, or I didn't have a whole lot of friends at that time, she was always my friend. She was always cool to me. We worked together at a call center.
Glamorous.
Man, I'm just trying to paint a picture of what a good friend she was to me.
Right.
And she, there was something called GeoCities. You remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do
It's like a
remember-
website or something, right?
Yeah. But it's
I don't know what it was, so you're gonna have to tell me. But I remember
terrible.
seeing because I kept pronouncing it Geocities.
Do you know Squarespace?
Yes.
And how amazing they are?
Yes.
Well, GeoCities was the opposite of amazing.
Okay.
It was the opposite of Squarespace. You
Right,
can build your own website.
you build your own website.
if
That's
you
what it
know-
was. Yeah,
If
right.
you know the correct binary code and you don't
Sure.
mind a million ads
Yeah.
and pop-ups, and it's just fucking terrible.
Yeah, if you did 5 years of programming, you're all set.
So my friend Danny, she built me the first and only actually Shane Ogden website on this GeoCities thing. And so I would like send her pictures of me doing shows and stuff back in the day, and she would put them on my website. I'd go to, geocities.com/123 Shane sort of Ogden maybe. And then I would look and I go, wow, there's a picture of me at Yuck.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
yeah, yeah.
like,
How
there's
many
no-
views on this so far?
I think I was the only one.
Yeah.
And every time I refresh, there'd be another view. Yeah. And so
2 visits,
The
3
reason I
visits.
say all that is because she went through a lot of effort for that.
Sure.
And she's been a big supporter for forever. And I kind of got this in. I got this in the mail from her and a card, and one she had made herself. And but with
nice.
fancy, like with the printer, and it said basically, I don't remember the exact words. I have it at home, but she basically said, "Don't give up."
Nice.
And she sent me this notebook that says Neverland Passport
Fucking right,
with the
man.
picture of peanut butter.
Peanut
No.
butter. Yeah, peanut butter pan.
Peanut butter pan flying on the front of the.
Dude, that's a very cool story.
Yeah. So I've honored this. Is this seriously happening right now?
Christ, turn your fucking what a fucking
sorry
rookie.
about that.
How many years in the business?
I gotta turn this.
21 fucking years in the business.
I gotta shut this off. I am so sorry. Okay. So this Neverland Passport, I've honored it with the first little scribblings of my new material. And
Right. Now, are we going to get these?
The first
Because
one-
listen, I got to be honest. If you're
Yeah.
going to do this and then kill yourself, I'm going to come out probably next year and say these are jokes that Shane Ogden shared with me exclusively moments before his
James.
death. I shouldn't.
James Mullinger, he thought I was going to be the one to commit suicide, and I didn't. But so that
He takes a shit kick.
I'm honoring Danny and this Neverland Passport by writing my first bit of comedy in here, and
we hear it?
it's about it's blow up doll pros and cons. So how appropriate. So with the blow up doll, the pros, sex is great. Whenever I want it, and the cons, the breakfast is the problem. I'm like, how are the waffles, honey? And she's all like, to get the mouth open. And
I love that face when you do that face.
The
I
blow
love
up doll
it.
face, yeah.
Yeah.
So
has that got over for you?
I never did it again.
You never did it again.
No, I did it the one time at the R Bar, and it went really well.
Yeah.
No, I lied. And then I did it one other
You
time,
did
and
it
it
once
didn't
at
go well.
Chuckles and it didn't go over. You
Yeah,
were telling
I didn't
me.
say it right or
Yeah,
something.
right. Yeah.
And there's the badass stepmother icing sugar taste test. Do you remember that one?
I don't remember that.
That
one.
was Casey, my son, who's 16, went to a party, and it was like a Hollywood themed party.
Right.
So what do? They put bags of icing sugar everywhere, and then Casey brings it home. I have no idea he's been to this party.
Right.
I find a small packet baggie of icing sugar in his
boy.
bedroom.
Oh boy.
I lose it. I call his mother. I call the Pope.
He's
pray.
on the coke.
Yeah, and so his stepmother licks her finger, puts it in the icing sugar, and then goes, no, it's not Coke. And I'm like, what kind of past have you had? Like
She starts rubbing it on her teeth.
Yeah, and then I started calling her a badass stepmother. I don't know.
Nice.
She sleeps beside me every night, but I keep one eye open. That's what I do. Hi, Jamie Splude. How are you? Fine.
No, I'm good.
No.
Why?
I'm on too many of these.
Why
as
isn't
it
this
is.
fucking bad?
What's going on?
I think she just keeps getting taller. I think that's what's happening.
Is that-
I'm shrinking.
she's growing still.
She is.
She's a
growing
growing
girl.
kid.
She's a growing girl.
So today was a bust.
Today
Okay,
was a
we're
bust.
not on pause anymore.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, today was.
We'll talk about your bust later.
All right.
All right.
That was funny.
Yeah, nice snatch.
Yeah.
Uh,
I did the with my tongue. When I laugh really hard sometimes when I giggle, I push the air out and then I'm like that. Stupid. Yeah.
It's better than a snort.
I have snorted also.
Oh, I've seen you snort.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's hop back on the Neverland Ranch here.
Yeah.
What else you got going on in there?
Let's see. Oh, murder. Yes. Somebody.
Oh, murder. Yes, you have been murdering.
Murder.
Yes, you got a fucking murder
I
list
jotted
in here.
a little thing down about murder because this news story was like, this lady was charged with murder, right? And I was like, oh no, that's really bad. I was thinking,
Right.
And then they go, she's being charged with first degree murder and 2 counts of arson. And I just thought, why fucking bother announcing the arson?
Exactly.
You know, like what? She also burns it. Like I was mad about her killing somebody, but she's also burned something down.
Yeah.
I mean, now she really needs to go to jail for twice as long.
It's like adding jaywalking to Cosby's bit, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And my grandmother looks like Gene Hackman, and my dad won't fuck my mother anymore.
Oh no!
I don't
Is
know.
that a true story?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just assume that.
Right. You're hoping, really.
See, I work in construction where things are not always politically correct. And so some people say, they start in with your mother. My shoes are under your mother's bed and all this stuff,
Right.
right? And I'm like, and then so I got a way to defend my mother by saying, oof, you're going to fuck my mother? My dad won't even fuck her anymore. Stupid, but,
Yeah.
Just all these stupid thoughts.
Yeah.
This isn't even a joke. I hate most people.
Yes.
I really do.
Man, I have that written in a lot of places.
I love so few people. You're one of the few people I love. But
Oh, thank you, Shane.
I hate so many people.
Yeah.
Oh my!
People are
I'm
terrible.
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed.
You know
with
what?
how much I hate 2018.
Did you hear my intro where I kind of this past week with Arif? Did you hear my podcast this week?
No.
I go on. I go off on texting and driving. Right.
Nice.
I go off on it.
Because you love it so much.
Oh man, and nothing drives me more crazy. So last night I'm leaving the hospital. I went up to the hospital for my back. Regional was fucking packed. I lasted a half hour there. Nothing happened. Fuck this. I got just enough
Sounded
time.
like a gig. What you just said.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was packed.
Yeah, it was
Fuck
packed.
off.
Fuck this. I'm leaving. And I said I still got time to make St. Joe's. So I'm fucking driving. I'm on this road. I can't even remember the
Going
name
to
of the
the
road.
hospital.
Yeah, going to the hospital. And it's a kind of a windy, crazy fucking road. Broad's coming at me. She's already like a quarter of the way into my lane. Right? So I start moving over. She looks up for a second from her phone just to, avoid the accident with me, luckily. And she passes by. I can see she's got her head down. She's fucking texting. And so I look in my side mirror just to get that last glimpse of stupid.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to see anything, right?
glimpse of
But, you look and you
I
go,
love
wow,
it.
the fuck, And what I see is I see a poor orange and white fucking cat go under her tire and then rolling underneath her car and goes underneath the rear driver's side and gets killed and fucking just rolls off into the fucking dirt. And this broad just keeps going, I like this picture on Facebook. I fucking hate people too, Shane. I'm right there with you.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Because I used to think, like I have a friend at work. He's like, I'm going to build a cabin in the woods. I hate people too. Right. And I'm just like, you're obviously crazy and not hooked in with society here. I'm much more sophisticated. Lately, I've just been like, nope, fuck it.
Yeah.
Even to the point where I live up in Public Landing now. And
fuck, that's a fun drive.
Yeah, my neighbors, they're like, howdy, neighbor. And I'm just like, nope,
No,
we're not doing it.
Nope. It's like the Seinfeld
good.
episode with the kisses in the building. You remember that one?
No.
All the Kramer was trying to get everyone to be friends in the building.
Yeah.
And he was posting pictures and names of fucking everybody in the building, and then everyone wanted to kiss Jerry hello. It was called the kiss hello.
The kiss hello.
Yeah.
And he was
But
like,
say,
no,
yeah.
no,
He's
no,
like, no.
Yeah.
He put a fucking stop to it.
Yeah.
And then the maintenance guy wouldn't fix his shower.
That's another bit I'm working on. Why the fuck would you want to know your neighbors? Everyone always complains, back in everyone used to know everybody. That must have been horrible.
Right.
I don't want to know anybody. Get the fuck away from me. What are we going to talk about your tomato soup recipe?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Seriously, I don't care.
Hey, your lawn's coming in pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making small talk and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mow my lawn, you mow yours. Leave me alone.
I think there is something to be said for it, though. And I've talked about this in the podcast before. I think one of the reasons that children, you don't see kids like out and about nowadays in neighborhoods and stuff is because before, if you weren't around or whatever, your neighbor's looking out for your kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now it's not that way. I don't know my fucking neighbors. I can't trust them to look after my son.
Well, not good.
So it's a little different that
Yeah.
way. It's a little different. I don't know if it's better or worse.
Yeah.
I think it's worse that most of our community nowadays is online.
Yeah.
Electronic communities.
That's probably bad.
It's definitely bad. It's definitely bad.
But I don't think it's any better like some of the old problems. Like there's this guy down by the store where I live. He's like, hey. I'm like, hi. He's like, you should get to know your neighbors. I'm like,
why?
okay. He's like, come on over and have a beer or something. Like, do you think my life is so fucking bankrupt?
So empty.
So empty. I've got nothing going on. I'm just going to take a Saturday afternoon and mosey on down to your fucking open garage and talk about your fucking four-wheeler.
You run home, honey, you'll never guess what. I got something to fucking do
I
Tuesday
made a
nights
friend.
now. Yeah. It's almost a little bit creepy now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be, but the way we live our lives now, something like that, it's a little fucking creepy.
It is, yeah. It'd be creepy if someone knocked on your door. Hey,
Hello, neighbor.
I'm your
A
neighbor.
fucking basket. You know what I mean? No one showed up to my door when I moved in here. The welcoming committee.
Yeah, I made some mustard pickles for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to eat them. I don't know what you did to them.
Shit, I like mustard pickles.
I love me some mustard pickles.
You know, no. If you get a new friend on Facebook, they don't fucking send you nothing.
No,
You know what I mean?
No.
Are you on there? Do you fuck around with the social media a lot? Because if you do, I have one question for you.
Sure, I do.
You do. So here's my question, and I know there was one reason that I was on social media, and I can't think of another reason, a good reason why people would be on social media. Yeah, take a look at Roseanne Barr. She put something out there publicly, and it's cost her immensely, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. But why did she put that out there? Why do we post on social medias? For me, the only conceivable reason I can see is narcissism. That's why I was doing it. I'd put a picture of me doing comedy or a picture of me looking good or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Because I want to show people how fucking great I am and my life is. And
True.
Yeah. But I can't think of another reason other than like, hey, come to my event, stuff like
Right.
that. But just as a personal page, why are we out there posting all this stuff publicly? What is the reason?
Yeah.
No, that's a question.
That's the question. What? And I couldn't agree with you more. I think, it is narcissistic, and it's the hey, look at me. It's the whole world. Hey, look at me.
Yeah.
But for me, why do I post things? Man, I used to post a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
And but nowadays, everybody thinks so differently than I do.
Yeah.
So I'm seen as the outcast now. It's kind of come full circle because when I was like, in my teenage years, I was definitely an outcast. I was a skateboarder. Nobody skateboarded back then.
Yeah.
Now everybody skateboards, but
You were listening to hip hop too, and that wasn't a thing.
that wasn't a thing
Yeah.
really, and punk rock, and that was suicidal tendencies and all that
now
stuff.
You're
Like all the good old days, right? But
Suicidal's going to be the intro song, by
is
the
it?
way. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I just thought, yeah, I'm different, I'm cool, and now I'm different, but I don't feel cool.
Well, you're in your 40s, man. It's the coolness is.
you don't.
We keep
feel-
striving for it, but it's over. But I hate to tell you,
You think it's over?
I think it's over. Yeah,
I think you
but
can be
we
cool,
can,
man.
but we
Look
can
at-
have
look at
those
Carlin.
moments on
Carlin was
stage,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Carlin was cool. Yeah. Was he cool off stage? Probably not.
I think he was. See, man, I seen pictures of him like walking around fucking New York and stuff with just a ball cap and some glasses, looking all bitter with his beard.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it was
that's cool
fucking
to us, but think about it. Like, who do you want to be cool to? Like, who do you want to be considered cool to?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that myself.
Right.
More than anything, I just want to.
That's almost impossible. Isn't
I
it?
want to feel like I'm like pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get pretty close. But I think those moments are fleeting.
Right.
Like, no, because,
Yeah.
you go and like you say with the ego and you kill on a show.
Yeah.
Or a new joke works and you feel great. But I think that for the most part, I just always feel like I'm reaching for something more.
Yeah.
And,
I think that's healthy though.
you breathe in and breathe out and time goes by and you fight the good fight and everything. But, there's times when you're tired of fighting and you don't think you have anything left in you, and then you get another fire lit under your ass. And,
Yeah.
like I'm really excited for the shows that are coming up. And, you know, just being able to try to start over again is exciting for me, but also like terrifying. I'm terror-sighted.
Well, yeah, because you've experienced a lot of changes in the last couple years. You know?
Man. No, yeah, of course. And we went through it all before, but you know, with the divorce, and now my lady and I live together, and we've got the 2 puppies and the 2 kids half the time.
And you're way the fuck out there.
I love it.
Is there cell service out there now?
Yeah.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For the longest time, there was nothing.
I got high-speed internet and everything.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Oh, that's all right.
And Casey loves it. Now my 16-year-old son, he loves to come to Dad's house because I got the high-speed internet.
Yeah.
His mom has internet, but it's not quite as good.
It's fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he up to now? What is his main interest right now?
Well, you would be maybe shocked, but he's a saxophone player.
Nice.
He
Who was I just talking to that play? Oh, John Ford. St. John Ford was a sax player.
Was he?
Yeah, but carry on.
I should get John Ford to hang out with my 16-year-old son.
I'm not sure that's a great idea.
Is he
So he's
allowed
playing-
to legally? No, I'm joking. So he plays saxophone. He also plays rugby,
Oh, excellent.
and he loves it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something that bothered me about my son. This could go maybe for comedy too. I got to write this in the Peanut Butter Pan book. He had his hair long, you know, but
I remember.
but in the front.
Yes.
Now it's in the front that's long.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
boy's got the same deal going
I've
on.
always had a problem with my son's hair,
Right.
but I always stopped myself from commenting because my dad always wanted to shave me military style, and he did.
He did.
Yeah, I was just like a sheep to him. He just grabbed me
Just
and
shear
sheared
ya.
me. Yep. We're going to town to get a haircut. And I'd be like, but I want to look like Johnny. And he'd be like, fuck Johnny. And he'd like, and my barber too was an aggressive old man. It wasn't like a
He
nice
drive
trip.
those teeth right in
There's
there.
no sucker for you afterwards like today's first choice haircutters. He was just like, and he was a pirate. I swear to God, he had a wooden leg. It was on Main Street West. His name was Percy at Steen's Barbershop. I'm telling you, man, it was crazy.
He must have been tough if he was, growing up in the era he did with a name like Percy.
Oh, there was wooden leg jokes flying every haircut day. That was the only good part, was like when Percy would like pull up his pants, everybody'd tap his wooden leg.
Maybe we should get Eric. What's that guy's name? Eric Payne. We should get Eric Payne to go over and pay Percy a visit for some new material.
There you go. Shots fired. No, but
I'm just kidding. Eric knows I love him.
I love Eric Payne. I also love the fact that some of the things that happen in my life seem like they're made up. And
Right.
that's definitely one of them that is so true but sounds made up. Another time, my grandfather wanted to teach me arithmetic, not math.
Right.
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic. It's the
Because-
other R.
Because when he fought in the first Civil War, that's what he learned, arithmetic.
Sure.
And he wasn't going to hear of this new math
Math.
they're talking about. So he got out 100 spoons.
100 spoons.
And my first question was, where the fuck did Grampy get all these spoons?
100 spoons. That's a lot of fucking
100.
spoons.
And he laid them all out like a psychopath on the living room floor. I had a massive living room and all these
Fuck,
spoons.
you'd need one for that many spoons.
And then he'd be like, what's 2 times 2? And I'm like, I don't know. And he'd be like, God! You get really angry. And then he would go, look. And he'd show me 2 spoons and 2 spoons. He goes, there's 2 times 2 equals. And then you get 4 more spoons. You go 4. And that's how I learned all of my arithmetic multiplication tables.
Yeah.
Was Grampy being super angry if I didn't get it right. And all these spoons, like, these are fucking traumatic experiences.
Spooning with granddad doesn't sound like a great fucking time.
He was an asshole. He once said that Hitler had the right idea with the Jews at Christmas supper. That was a quiet dinner. It was a quiet dinner. Yeah.
Wow.
He told me if I married a...
Is this Papa Arn?
No, that's a different racist
Okay, because he's a
grandfather.
fucking... Yeah, I was going to say, he's
I
a
had
major
2
racist from what I hear.
grandfathers. I'm glad they're dead. No, but the thing with my actual blood grandfather with the spoons is he would he's the cheap one. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so cheap, and he would like bring
How
it.
cheap is he?
He would bring me to Harvey's, and he would order a double cheeseburger, and then he'd take out 2 slices of bread from his pocket and take one of the patties out, and he would eat the bread one like a psychopath, and I'd be sitting there like with my.
He'd give you the burger one?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, that's
he
all
loved
right.
me. He loved
Yeah,
me, you know.
sure.
But he also told me if I ever married a French or a black girl, I was out of the will. Which is like insane. Like it's just like
What'd you get out of the will?
about $3,000.
Oh, well, that's not bad. You don't want to risk $3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
that's
to keep
right.
those black girls at bay till at least till Papa's gone.
I did date a French girl, but it never worked out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't cage that bird.
No, eh?
No.
Yeah, they're a little wild, those French ones.
Oh.
Yeah. Now you're
I've
a bit.
heard that.
Now you jumped right into hey Shane. Shane was talking about Casey, and then all of a
yeah.
sudden it's Shane.
I know.
Jesus
I know.
Christ.
So rugby. Oh yes, the hair. So he put a scrunchie in his hair.
Yes.
In the front.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh man.
You know what my son has? Listen, count your blessings, okay? Because first of all, my son's 2 years younger. Not only does he do that scrunchy thing with the shit
No.
up in the front,
No.
his hair is braided with beads in it.
And you can't even make fun of them.
Listen,
Or
and-
you're
and-
abusive.
That's right. Well, and the wife has been trying to talk him out of hairdos and all this, and I told her, listen, you know, when you were younger, I'm sure you wanted different hairstyles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I have to talk myself out of
Yeah, man.
saying stuff.
You know, when I was the boy's age, I had hair all one length around my waist. Right? Like,
you talking about your pubes?
I looked like no, I looked like Cousin It, and that's what people call me.
Oh, because you had such long hair.
I'm not going to say anything to him about his fucking hair. Kids are kids, man, and it's a phase, right?
So here's what happened, though.
Oh.
I went to the rugby game because I was between tanks, and I was on call. He didn't know I was going to show up, so
It's between
I was between tanks.
right.
This has been Between Tanks with Mark Splude and Shane Ogden. So I go to the fence, and then I discover what rugby is. Have you ever seen a rugby game?
Pretty violent.
It's murder.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
violent.
so that he's sitting there, he's got his whole team has their face painted.
Sure.
I
That's
assume with
war.
mascara.
Sure.
But it's black and it looks vicious because
Right.
it's like teardrops from his eyes and like football things under his
Mad Max.
eye socket. Yeah, they look like, and then some of them have the hair up in the front like that, and I was like, these guys look like samurai warriors. I get it now.
Yeah.
He wasn't being a foo-foo or, trying to, this funny looking weird hair.
Yeah.
It actually made sense in a rugby uniform.
Yeah.
When he went out on the field, and man.
The whole platoon had them.
Yeah, there was a kid. He was sitting out because he had a broken leg.
Right.
This is the sport they're playing. Kid's got a broken leg. Another kid had to sit out because he got his bell rung. His head was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
concussion.
rugby's a rough fucking sport, man.
So Casey, the other day, had his final game because the season was almost over, and he got his bell rung and had to take him to the hospital. They thought maybe he had a
shit.
concussion.
Yeah.
He was talking all crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's-
scary, man.
It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
because he was saying kept asking repeatedly what flavor of Gatorade they were going to get him, and he had the Gatorade in his hand, like he was messed up.
Oh, dude, that's terrifying.
So we were so scared, and I mean I still am. We still watch him, and
Yeah.
all right. And he's like, I'm fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
to him, it's like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
I'd love to see Casey get into comedy, man. That kid's got a great sense of fucking humor.
He does, but he's like his dad, man. He's super sensitive. Like for the Ogdens, for me anyway. Can't speak for Casey, but and I kind of feel like he might be more like me. Yeah, it's like I'm missing a layer of skin. I am so sensitive, man.
Yeah.
So like someone might say something and joke with me or something, but I take that with me. I would like to cite the G.I. Joe gun
Right.
as my reference. So
The defense rests.
you might say baldy or something, and then I'll go home and I'll be like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
He probably thinks about me being bald, and he's got hair, so he probably thinks he's better than me. You think you're better than me? Like the psychosis of men, and I don't want this to be like Maria Bamford's one of my favorite comedians, but her thing is mental illness, and I don't want necessarily my comedic voice to be all about mental illness.
Right.
But that's what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
And-
Well, and Arif and I talked about this last week. You can't pick and choose what's coming into your brain for comedy right now. You got to write whatever's coming in.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's interesting. I got into a bunch of shit on social media. We were talking about social media.
Sure.
I mean, multiple times.
Yeah.
But these times are like people are going to
Recently?
jail.
Is this
for
recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
people are going to jail for what they're saying on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or getting, in our country, they're getting sued and stuff. Like
Fired, sued.
Yeah, like-
lives destroyed.
lives destroyed over
Yeah.
things that are words.
Yeah.
And I just feel really disappointed in 99% of the human beings on planet Earth.
That's why I'm not on social media.
Like, so disappointed in them because they're so misguided, and there's this mob mentality that what you say is who you are, and I just wish that wasn't so. And
Yeah.
and I can wish the world to be the way I want it to be until I'm old and gray, but it's just never going to be the way I want it to be.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get it a little bit closer, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be so nice.
You know?
If people actually saw beyond, because I mean, you and I have had a past that was very rocky.
Yeah.
But we've
had an interesting relationship.
We made it through, and we have admiration, respect for each other. We're friends. These are things that I feel like most people on Earth are never going to be able to get to.
Yeah.
Because like you had mentioned, they're all plugged into this platform. But if you walk up to a person, tell them they're a cis binary whatever incel to their face.
Right.
And they'll be like, "What?
Yeah.
You want to go get a coffee and talk this over? You psycho?" Like, that's a new term, by the way.
Yeah.
We're all cis binary, normative, gender normative.
See, I'm not even. I hardly go online.
Do you know how many,
so I don't
do you
know what
how many
the fuck
names
these,
you're being called?
I know, and that's the thing, because someone did call me that. You're
So-
cis white male. What is this fucking cis? I had to look it up. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah. So here's the new one. You'll love this.
I'm sure I will.
So that psychopath that plowed down a whole bunch of people in Toronto with the white unmarked van.
Sure.
And he kills like a dozen people. And I'm sorry that I'm laughing.
Yeah, we're both laughing.
It's not right.
Right.
I'm not laughing about the dead people.
Sure.
I just always laugh when people lose their shit. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
and their lives.
It's a tragedy.
Yeah.
But comedy is so close to tragedy, right? You couldn't have one without the other, light without dark. And in this case, this guy had a lot of dark.
Yeah.
And he fucking drove over some people. So then they go, "Well, why?" They always say, "Why did they be doing what we didn't want them to do?"
Yeah.
That's a big question for
Sure.
everybody, right? You never figure it out.
No.
But anyway, so they said, he's an incel. And everyone was like,
It's an incel.
what? What is that? And apparently, I've researched this.
I know I'm not going to like this.
Yeah, you're definitely not. An incel is someone who hasn't fucked a lady in a long, long time. Can't get any action. Can't get any ladies to fuck him. So he has to murder people. And we should be on the lookout for these incels, but you don't have to murder anyone to be an incel. You're almost on the verge of murdering just because you have blue balls.
Okay, someone's got to get Andrew Vaughn on the fucking phone immediately.
And now
we
so this
we got to
this
put him on
is-
incel watch, for Christ's sake.
Incel.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Andrew. The joke was right there, brother. You know I love you. He's very vocal about
So
it.
that's the thing. That's the thing everybody, they jump to. All these feminazis and extreme feminists. They don't want to be equal. They want to be superior.
Yeah. It's
Right?
their turn.
It's their turn
It's
to
their
be
turn. We're
superior.
supposed to sit down and shut the fuck up, and the women are taking over.
Yeah. And anytime you say anything in the defense of men, you will be ostracized from the herd,
Yeah.
from the mob.
Yeah.
The social justice mob, right?
See, I'm very happy in my life because I don't fuck around online very much.
See, that's
and when I
why
go to work,
you're smiling.
right? And when I go to work,
Yeah.
I work out of an office, and there's 4 women that work in the office, and they all have traditional women jobs, and the dudes there have traditional men jobs, and it's the universe is as it should be in my mind,
Right.
how it always was. I know everyone wants change and all this shit, but I'm not walking around the office slapping broads in the fucking ass and
Or calling them broads.
right? Or calling them. Well, no, I do call them broads.
Yeah.
If they're having a fucking hen party about something, I'll walk away and go, I can't listen to you fucking broads anymore, and they all laugh because it's a fucking joke. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But if you were to type broads on the internet, that ruin your whole fucking life.
Oh, it would.
You know?
Yeah.
So get me fired from this job I love so much.
So I guess I'm having a hard time because, of course, I'm a very emotional person. I'm a very
You-
sensitive person. I'm a
Right.
very sharing person. So, I'm the openest book. and I try to express myself on a platform that is no longer welcoming to me or my ideas.
Right.
So it's just like the other day, a lady that I know made a joke about a 2018 woman, a 2018 man. Oh, geez, I wish I remembered the exact wording. I won't. I'm probably going to butcher it. But the concept was the 2018 woman is just perfect. You know, she's living her life. And she says something like, oh, you want to go on a date? Or I can't remember exactly what. And, or no, the 2018 woman's like, why didn't you call me?
Right.
He's like, sorry, my phone is dead. Oh, God, I wish I remembered. But anyway, the whole point was the man was portrayed as a big dummy,
Right.
who had something against women.
Sure.
Right? So
That's all of us.
I wrote the counter,
Oh.
and they did not like the
They
counter.
did not like it. Oh, I
No,
can't wait to hear the
can't-
counter.
No, I got to turn my phone on. It's a whole thing. And that's probably going to ring.
Give me an idea.
But the whole idea was, I was like, oh, the 2018 man is like, hi, how are you? Or something like that. And the lady's like, I don't need no cis-normative white male telling me hello because you think I need a greeting from a man. And like, I just went off that
Yes.
way. Clearly being ridiculous.
Right. But
It's not clear.
No.
It's not clear. And,
so you
and
attempted
how
to joke on social media.
Oh.
Big mistake. bud.
Oh, it went
Big mistake.
It went downhill. It went down. I was I was out of touch. I was called an old fart. They say, "Oh, he's old. He doesn't know what he's out of touch. He doesn't know what he's." I'm a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I understand. I have 4 decades of having my heart broken by women. You don't think that I have like a valid opinion or some insight onto relationships? I was married for 16 years.
No.
I might know a thing or two about ladies.
No
I
chance.
I have a lot of ladies in my family. You know?
Yeah.
Now
Well, you were raised mostly around all girls.
That's right, because my father died when I was young, and there was a few years between the stepfather and the father. So yeah, I was raised by women. I love women, and that keeps getting taken away from me over and over again.
You're one of those guys, honestly, that you don't have. I actually have a different way of dealing with men and women.
Right.
You don't. You treat, from what I've seen of you, you treat men and women completely equal. It's very strange.
That, you know what?
It's commendable, but it's a little strange.
That is how I feel so strange when people are upset with me. I get very hurt, and there's been a few women in my life, friends,
Right.
and some famous and some not, who have said, you know, like, oh, like, I can't believe you would even say that, and like won't perform at my club and stuff like that, because I dared to say in the early days of the Cosby accusations, I said, well, should we find out if he's guilty before we crucify him?
Oh, no. They said it, so he's guilty.
So, but you know what? Now it looks bad for Mr. Cosby.
It looks real bad for Mr. Cosby.
He's going away.
But nothing wrong with coming out and say, hey, give him his fucking day in court. We would all expect the same thing.
There's
you
no,
know?
but there is no due process.
No, not anymore.
No.
It's the court of public opinion.
It's the mob.
Yeah, it's the mob, and
Yeah.
it's just wherever the mob is swinging right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. And you know what I think a big part of the problem is that nobody is, with these phones and everything that's going on online, no one is present in actual fucking life. Like, no one's living in the present. What's going on right now?
Yeah.
You know?
So I got to unplug a little bit, man.
Oh, I hope you do, Shane.
You know?
Man, honestly, I can tell you how much it helped me. And I don't think I suffer from the level of mental illness maybe that you do.
Right.
And I think that device that you got sitting right beside you is making any mental illness you have a million fucking times worse.
Right.
And honestly,
I can
I know Darren Elmore
agree with
listens to this podcast.
He does?
I know he does because
I love you,
yeah.
Darren Elmore. I still love you. I don't get why he thinks that I hate him, because
Yeah.
I love him. Maybe he doesn't think that anymore. I haven't really spoken to him. I performed beside him.
You did.
There were
Oh,
no,
we're going to talk about that. But
there's no words.
I just want to say, you know, he talks pretty openly about his mental illness.
Right.
This man spends an enormous amount of time online, and honestly, Darren, if you want to get better, I think that's your first step. You know,
Oh yeah, I
walk
would
away
agree.
from it, man.
I
Like,
would agree. It doesn't make anything better, because you're always. I even found like the music I was listening to. You know, I'm a huge hardcore rap fan.
Yes.
But I've been backing away from rap. I've been slowly introducing a little more classic rock and stuff. Like I love
Nice.
the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so good, man. Come and Get Your Love by Redbone and Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And,
Yeah,
like, all those
good tunes.
Cherry Bomb and like Spirit in the Sky.
Oh, that's a nice.
Man, just rolling down the highway in my old junky Divorcemobile, listening to Spirit in the Sky. I love it. I love it. Windows rolled down. It's warm.
Yeah.
Sunglasses on, driving by the river. I love it, man. The dog licking my face and
Keeping you calm. I think it's
I love that
important. It sounds like you're trying to do things in your life to improve yourself mentally.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's important, man.
I have
if you
to
can
for
recognize,
the
hey,
kids,
this
right?
this music makes me feel a certain way, right? And then you fucking spiral down. At least you're recognizing it.
Because I love Eminem, but he's still fighting.
Yeah.
And I don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah.
He's just like, you think you're better, I'm not. I'm the best, and here's how I'm going to tell you. And he says it way fancier.
Sure.
But, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. So you,
I feel I'm very affected by, I don't know if you call that like an empath or whatever, hippie word you want to attach to it, but I get emotionally, like I'm like a dog, like I feed off the energy that's around me.
Right.
So if I've got a bunch of fighting energy, I'm like, yeah, let's get them. Wait, there's nobody around me. There's no opponent to anything. And I'm just angry listening to this music. So like, there's a rapper that even said this. I don't know if it was Jay-Z or who it was, but he said at this point in my life, I'm all about chilling. Yeah, and that's where I'm at.
That's Shane Ogden.
I want to chill.
Maybe that's gonna be the name of your next special. Shane Ogden, chilling,
all about chilling. The kids will love that.
What did you
title.
think? I want to get back to you performing with Darren and how that went, but. What did you think? Because you're the most seasoned comic in this area,
right?
You've got the most experience. You've been around the block way more than way more than anybody
That's
else.
Another awesome way of saying I'm old.
What?
Can you get the cat off my back?
Oh, Jesus Christ! We're getting rid of this cat today. It was chewing on my microphones earlier.
There's a kitty. He's a small kitten.
Fucking hate that kitten. I love cats. I hate that kitten. Anyway, as the most seasoned, that's why I built a podcast room so there'd be no more fucking interruptions. Shane, I might as well just still fucking do it in my dining room.
You should.
God damn it!
Put a padlock on the door.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's what I need. I need a privacy lock on there. Yeah, that's gonna happen next time.
Nice.
You're one of the most seasoned comics. What was? How did you feel about Matt Keenan coming out after a year in comedy, doing his special? What did you think about that? And listen, we all love Keenan.
Yeah,
right? we all love Matt, but I'm just looking for an honest opinion.
It's just a different way of looking at it. I mean, I'm 20 some odd years in, and I just thought for myself, I thought I was ready, and at the time I wasn't ready, and that was last year.
Right.
So it's different for everybody, and if Keenan feels like he's ready, I guess he's ready. But he'll only be the product that he is now, right? And it might be harder for him to put out another special and expect that people will receive it in as positive of a way as if he had waited 10 years or 5 years or something. They may have received it better, and it might have been better advertising for future specials. I don't know, man.
That's a very good point.
I'm just spitballing with some of the marketing experience I have, but there's nothing wrong with somebody monetizing what they do. I'm kind of inspired by, like Ben McDonald up in Fredericton, and
Ben's getting so fucking good, man.
Is he?
Ben's getting so good on stage.
Nice.
Have you not seen him in a while?
No, I think he's coming to Chuckles soon.
Man, he's gonna crush at Chuckles. He's gonna
Nice.
fucking crush, man.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
he's
it.
getting. He might be one of the strong. He might be the strongest of the new breed.
Really?
Yeah, in my opinion, right? It's
Wow,
all
that's cool.
opinion based.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's subjective. So no, I just, it's one of those things. Like I used to say, what black and white thinking. I used to have a lot of that, and in some ways I wish I did, because it's just now I feel left me weaker and more confused.
Yeah, you don't know where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what do you call that? Like you're spinning. Like you're just trying to find answers, but.
But I think that's positive, because I think it shows you're in a transition. right? You're trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Different. Yeah. So you worked with Darren. Let's talk a little bit about some of these beefs, because I mean the beefs you and I have had. First of all, with each other, and we'll talk about that because I do want to talk about relationships and comedy, especially with you. But all these beefs are public, like Mark Burnett, Darren Elmore, Chanel Frere.
Yeah.
And you worked with Darren at was it a Yuck show? Talk me through this experience.
So I think he might have been hosting. I think he was hosting. And I saw him and I said hello and he said hi, and then we sat.
Oh, he did say hi.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we sat in the green room and that was it. Like, I talked to the other comics that were around.
Sure.
Because I didn't want to make the guy upset.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't want to back him into a corner and force him to talk if he doesn't want to.
Exactly.
I mean, if he's civilized enough to say hi, that's a pretty fucking good result, really.
That's a big step.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he did the show and he did well and everything, and I went up and did well, and
Were you middling? What was
yeah, I was. That was the weekend that I got pressed into service because somebody couldn't make it or something. Oh, Canoe was moving.
Oh, okay, all right.
Do you know who I mean?
Yeah, I know who you mean.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, I call him Wine Breath, but
Captain
Mark.
Weinberg.
Yeah, Mark Arnett.
Mark Arnett.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I felt like it was a really good experience with Darren. But I also feel like, I wish there had been more,
Yeah.
and this is this thing where I need people to like me.
Right.
And I wrestle with that because lately, especially with the how I feel about everybody on planet Earth, I feel like, why do I want everybody to like me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
these are terrible people.
these are terrible.
Why do I want them to like me?
Yeah, but Darren, I feel a special place in my heart because, see, when he came from Vancouver to New Brunswick and he first came on the scene, I had a Jason Rouse show going up in Moncton.
Oh, nice.
And it was in this little bar, but we packed it. And Darren...
He'd be a perfect fit for a Jason Rouse show, first of all.
Yeah. No, but Darren, I don't know. I think Darren was doing another show in the area on Main Street, Moncton. And I went to see him and he crushed. And I was like, man, that's so funny. This guy looks like a trucker, but he's gay. And
Yeah.
I loved it. And I was like, man, I put you on my show in St. John and I'd really like to book you. And he was all gung-ho for it. And that's when we did those 3 Mile shows, and you were on some of those shows.
Yeah.
And so I guess I feel like I helped him, and I felt like we were friendly. And then, his stuff got stale. And I told him that. I told him just from a booking point of view, because he kept asking, to be on the shows.
Sure.
And I wanted him on the shows, but I told him, and again, we've said this before, but the reason was I said, well, I can book you every 6 months so people forget about the same routine you're doing over and over. Or if you write more, I can have you more often.
Yeah.
And that set him off. And unfortunately, he decided to end the friendship. But
It was that.
Yeah, that was what happened.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just kind of did that thing. And I'm guilty of it. You spiral. You put one problem on top of the other problem. There's a word for it, but I forget.
Right.
Compounding, I think.
Sure.
You go,
Sounds about right.
oh, the laundry's not done, and now I got to go to work. I'm gonna be late for work, and oh god, and this dog has to be fed, and my son, he's just sitting around playing video games. He could feed the dog, and then I could be out the door. Doesn't he have any respect for me anyway? And then my wife calls. She's mad. You compound all these problems. Unfortunately, with mental illness, and especially with Darren, one little thing can turn into huge.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with him. Yeah, unfortunately, I feel sad for him.
That's too bad. Yeah, I do too, to a point. I mean, I'm also at a point where, if you're not, you can't just use your mental illness as an excuse to shit
right.
all over everybody.
That's right.
Not forever anyway. Right. So anyway, yeah, I don't think there's any hope there really to squash that beef entirely.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
No,
I really don't.
It's probably just his decision, and that's what it is. And unfortunately, I've had a few people in my life that I felt close to, later found out that they're seriously mentally ill.
Right.
And need help and everything, and aren't willing to help themselves, or some combination.
Sure.
So I'm doing a lot of self-help.
Yeah.
You know, not in the stereotypical book cover way, but with examining how I behave and how others react to me, and trying not to be paranoid, trying to assume that people don't care about me, or don't think about me in a negative way.
Yeah.
Or think about me at all.
Yeah.
Which would be perfect.
Right.
You know?
Forget about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but walking around thinking people don't like you is and caring.
Yeah.
It's a hard world to care about others in, and to care about yourself, you know. And but all those things are important to some degree.
Isn't it so weird that at the same time you could hate yourself and still have a huge ego at the same time? It's a strange fucking thing.
That's there's a lot of that in stand up.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
But recently, I guess not recently, but within the last year anyway, you've had Chanel on a show at Chuckles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having her there actually helped us all bury the hatchet with Chanel.
Oh, cool.
I did. John did.
Nice.
We all just, hey, we're at a comedy show. Forget the past, or And I think she went on John Ford's radio show, and I don't think she took enough credit for her role in these beefs.
Right.
But at least she was willing to go on the show and willing to bury the hatchet. I mean, I don't think we have to sit around and, hey, well, this was your fault and this escalation was your fault, or shit like that.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen her take a little bit more responsibility for it. Yeah. But at the same time, it's just great that beef is over. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not after she hears this.
I mean, it's no
I'm
secret.
just being honest.
It's no secret that Chanel also suffers from mental illness.
Yeah, well, she's very vocal about it.
It's like a plague now.
Yeah.
Like everybody's in on it.
Yeah.
But so she struggles with mental illness, and a lot of times she does really well.
Yeah.
But every once in a while she slips. She's told people in her career to fuck off, and that's been very detrimental to her career. But then she builds back up.
I don't know anything about that.
No way. So, but she's a killer. She makes people laugh. Unfortunately, sometimes she can spiral, and one problem becomes another, and just it becomes tough too to look at the positive things, like when you get in your own head. And then you don't appreciate what you have. I mean, a lot of soothing things for me, helping myself, has been just gratitude, and just saying, okay, start every day with, I have a job. Thank God I have a job.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, like I love these dogs. They wake me up every morning and lick my face, and oh my God, thank God my kids are healthy and happy, and my daughter started soccer and she's pumped.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so she wears her, her jersey, her Timbits jersey everywhere she goes.
Nice.
Even if she's not playing.
That's adorable.
She kicks the ball like every day. She's out, like she in her head, in her 8-year-old head, she's training for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
But she's doing Timbit soccer, but she's doing that. She's doing that with the fierce mental state of an Olympic champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's hilarious.
so when I think about things that like that in my life, or my friendship with you,
Right.
or my friendship with Julie, or
Now you
Dale.
didn't mention your girlfriend, so hopefully she doesn't listen. She didn't make the list.
No,
she didn't
no.
make Godso's top 5.
No, I thank God for my leashi.
All right, you didn't have to
Get sappy,
fucking sappy.
but
You're my Smoopy.
yeah, but if you just admit that you have great things going on,
Yeah.
it starts to make you feel great.
Yeah.
But
Perspective, man. Yeah, it would get exhausting.
So some days you wake up and you go, fuck.
Yeah.
And you just let somebody else more than fuck this.
I'm kind of lucky because usually when I wake up, my body fucking hurts so much that I'm not thinking about good things or bad things. I'm just
just
trying to
thinking about
fucking get to
pain.
work. You know what I mean? Get me in the shower and get me out the fucking door.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm dealing with a lot of fucking pain right now. But anyway.
Yeah.
I did want to talk. It's you and I have had an interesting relationship because
sure.
we hit it off right away.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple road bumps, but we've got over them, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you've been in this business for over 20 years. you must have some very interesting relationships. You know, for example, with guys like Mike Dambra,
Yep.
and with Brett. You know, guys like that.
Yeah. Even Tim Nutt, I was surprised.
Right. So
He remembered more of me than I thought. And we had a lot of things in common, a lot of places that we performed. And
Right.
I was really surprised at how close Tim Nutt felt to me versus, because I call it the Quigley mistake.
Yeah.
When I show up at the airport and I'm ready to hug Chris Quigley and he's just like,
who the fuck are you?
dude, you opened for me once 20 years ago. You're not my... like, I would be your friend, but
Right.
you're coming on a little strong right now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like, after that, I was like, oh, I better just keep my distance until I remember, because I remember these people from like 20 years ago, 10
Yeah.
years
And
ago.
you're remembering the good times, and you're thinking, hey, you know,
Yeah.
because honestly, your comedy career was on pause for, you know,
Yeah.
quite a number of years.
Yeah,
And now,
long
meanwhile, these
time.
guys have all these other young kids opening up for them and all these comedy experiences.
Yeah, so
you know,
I'm
so
just
you're
a very
remembering
small part.
Yeah.
Whereas that was my whole world at one point.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but Tim Nutt was like, yeah, I remember so-and-so, and we did this, and then I was like, oh, man, yeah, and it bringing back all these good memories. And I actually sat with Tim after his show at the bar and had a beer with him, and it's not something that I get to do a lot.
Yeah.
Usually they're like, I got to fly early. And
Or you're too crazy, right?
Yeah.
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 So,
So it's good.
why the fuck aren't you doing a podcast with these guys? You need to start that back up again, Shane.
I know. It's just like getting a few $100 together has always been a problem
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But,
well, there's always somewhere else for it to go.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can, get, I mean, this wonderful setup didn't happen overnight that you have, right?
No, it did happen in a week, though.
Did it? Oh, just
It
a
happened
week.
pretty fucking quickly.
Holy jeez.
I actually had this table and everything built before we even moved in here.
Nice.
Yeah, I said to myself, if we're moving and we're going to a new place, I need to have a fucking spot to record.
Well, this is awesome. I
And
love
I-
it.
and
And
I just
I
fucking-
aspire to this. I hope to have something similar.
Yeah, it's a sweet setup. It's obviously more than I need. I don't need this fucking setup. My podcast was sounding, decent enough the way I was doing it.
Yep.
But, at some point, like I spend a lot of fucking time in this room.
Yeah.
I'm in this room probably 4 hours a week at least.
Yeah.
Recording, shooting my fucking mouth off.
Writing.
So it's nice to be, comfortable, have your own little space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I think you should definitely be podcasting with these guys that you're bringing in. Who's next? Who's up next at Chuckles?
Oh, Michelle Christine, who's on her BMW motorcycle comedy tour, one night only. This was a thing that happened, and I wasn't warm to the idea at first. I said, no, definitely not. I don't want to do this.
Right.
And Julie was like, actually, she's pretty funny. Here's a YouTube clip. And I watched it and I laughed. And I'm like, yeah, okay, she's funny, but nobody knows who she is,
Right.
and it's going to be a problem in June. So I was bringing, I have a problem for every solution, right?
Sure.
I was bringing all my negative energy. And Julie was just like, look, you know what? Like, Chuckles is, getting more popular, but it's still fairly quiet in the summer.
Yeah.
And, the bar could use the business. And, she's agreed to a door deal.
Oh, nice.
So-
well, that takes a lot of pressure off.
So we're like, okay, all right, let's try it. And then, of course, we have the main course at the end of the month is Paul Meyerhog, who people call Firehog. 'cause
Oh,
he's a
okay,
killer.
yes. Yeah, I've heard of him. I've never seen him.
Yeah, he was just got off Snowed In comedy tour, that 10-week tour. I think it's 10 weeks. Or is it 10 cities? I don't know. Anyway, it's a big tour out west. There's Dan Quinn, Pete Zedlacker, Craig Allen Campbell, Deborah DiGiovanni. Like, it's a murderer's row of comedy.
Yeah.
And they go all out and they fill theaters and everything. So Paul's just getting out of that.
Wow.
He lives in England, but he's from Edmonton.
Right.
And
Now, is he over in England doing this fish out of water stuff? Or
I don't think so, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. More than likely.
I mean,
it works, right?
It does. It definitely works. But these guys, when they go to Europe, like, they get paid really well.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Is what I keep hearing over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you only do 20-minute sets. Everybody, whether you're the last guy or the first guy, everybody does 20.
Yeah.
And the guys get paid like £250 a show.
Yeah.
Which is equivalent
Wilmot
to
was
about
telling me-
$500.
Yeah, Wilmot was telling me a little bit about go to fucking Europe. They pay comics.
Yeah,
In
they
Europe.
really pay them.
Yeah.
They value them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martin Saulnier handed me a petition thing. Have you looked at this? It's the Canadian Association of Stand-Up Comedy or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Good.
he's
Good
the.
luck. You can scream and yell and kick your feet all
He's
you
trying
want.
to build like a little community.
Nobody here in Canada gives a fuck about comedy.
But he's
there's
trying,
no respect.
He's trying to get the, and that's maybe all true, but he's trying to get the paperwork going,
Right.
to get stand-up comedy in Canada considered an art form and make it eligible for funding.
That'd be nice.
So I guess I gotta look at it. Because he wants me to like sign it, obviously, and then use my little tiny bit of influence to advertise this. So,
Right. Now, is he
I haven't looked
spearheading
into
this?
it.
Is he spearheading this whole fucking deal, or is he just?
And my understanding is in
satellite?
New Brunswick,
Right.
He's pushing it. Yeah,
Oh,
because
that's cool.
he wants everybody to have opportunities to, say you wanted to make a podcast or something.
Sure.
And it was going to be based on stand-up comedy and consider that an art form. Then you could apply for funding to the, I don't know, Arts Commission. I don't know what they call the fucking
So I
shit,
get paid
right?
back for all this fucking shit.
Maybe.
Maybe get retro pay for all my past episodes.
Maybe.
Fuck, I got to get recording it.
Or maybe give you funding to rent a theater to perform a show.
wouldn't
Shit
that be
like
something?
that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's none of the above. I'm talking out of my ass. But
Yeah, no,
this
but
is
it's-
just what he said to me, and I'm kind of piecing it together.
Yeah.
I don't know why I even brought
I'll have to
that
have Marty on.
up. Yeah,
talk about this.
He's an interesting dude.
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about it. So
Yeah.
I've had him on before.
Yeah.
Marty's been on the Spludecast in the early days.
He's still French.
Yes, is he? Yeah.
I just wanted to make him.
But he doesn't have MS anymore.
No, he was Marty D for a while.
Right.
And that is no longer.
Okay.
Now he's Martin Saulnier.
Okay.
Again.
So he does have MS again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I thought he beat it.
No,
he
he
had
didn't.
the MD there for a little while.
He did not beat it. Okay, so I've got more bits.
Oh, nice.
They're on my phone.
Oh, beautiful.
So one thing I keep saying about the dogs, but you could say anything to a dog. Like you could say, you know what? You're a fucking drain on me. You are a fucking disappointment to me, and I fucking hate you. I laid eyes on your furry fucking fat face. I hate you so fucking much.
Jesus.
And then they would just go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
like, all right, I can't. They're like, I know you're going through something.
Yeah. Yeah. Dump it all on me, Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that's cool.
Pile it on, yeah.
Can we go for a walk now? Like, they're all forgiving. Like, you just
You
give
know
them a little
why?
bit of peanut butter and they're just like, okay, I can't stay mad at you.
You know why?
Why?
Well, they know because later on you're going to pick up their shit.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to go, oh, yeah, no, go ahead, Shane. Yeah, no. Let me fucking have it. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, are we going to go outside? Oh, okay. Here. Oh, it's going to be a good one.
And
Oh.
I do pick up my dog's feces.
Why? Why?
Because we live in a trailer park, yes.
Nice.
But I also
Ooh, I
want
love
to
that.
stay classy.
Sure.
So I pick up. Well, it's just I can't let him poop on the neighbor's lawn.
Is it
that I
worth-
don't know and don't want to know?
Is it worth it? Is it worth it for that little bit of companionship you get out of this dog? Is it worth it to lean down with that thin little bag and pick up that hot shit
I ask myself every
many
day.
times a day? Is it worth it?
I keep asking myself that.
It can't be.
Also, my boss. Bosses.
Sure.
They give you some crap sometimes.
Right.
So I never get mad. I get hurt. I'm like, oh, I'm a bad boy now.
Sure.
But like bosses never call you up and say great things. Like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I'm just working.
Yeah.
That work you wanted me to do, and bosses are never like, I was just sitting here reflecting on what a great employee you are, and geez, I wish I could pay you more. And I was just talking down at the bosses convention, talking to the other bosses, and they're all like, yeah, what's your employees like? And I was like, oh, there's this one guy, Shane. God, he's a good employee. Well, I don't want to brag him up too much. I don't want you other bosses taking him on me. Anyway, and I was just telling the bosses what a great guy you are. Anyway, you're a great guy. Just want you to know that you're doing a good job. Take an extra long lunch today. You're the best. I love you. See you on payday. Bosses never say that.
I got to disagree with you, Shane. I'm actually very lucky right now. My boss.
You are lucky.
My boss
You're the one.
loves me.
You've got the
He's
good
always
boss.
telling me keep up the good work. You're doing a great fucking job.
Wow.
I didn't even know I needed you until I hired you. These kind of things.
Wow.
I'm pretty lucky.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
You're
pretty
the
lucky.
one guy
But
who has a boss
That's
that
right.
appreciates his employee.
That goes to those bosses conventions
Yeah.
and goes, "That's Mark's blue guy."
I call that bit "Bosses Never Say Good Things."
It's a good bit.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I'm going to be sitting in the audience with my arms crossed. I'm like, I don't get it.
my next
My boss is great.
my next joke is inspired by James Mullinger.
Oh, nice.
It's about his children. So this is getting really creepy, isn't it? And really scary. But it's not. It's inspired by his kids because his kids are fucking adorable.
Right.
They really are. And but they're also extremely creepy.
Right.
The English children are the creepiest
They are.
nightmare. It's like the kitty's eyes are different colors, mommy. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna stab me.
All over.
So that's my new joke. English
Dude,
kids are
that's
creepy.
a great joke. Yeah,
I
it's
love
so
it.
fucking true.
Yeah.
No matter what they say.
Okay. Also, I can't now. People think I'm a psychopath. I've been writing a lot,
That's good, man. It's good news.
only because I know I want to change so much. And one of the things I can't change about myself is bacon consumption.
Right.
I love bacon, right? And the doctors are telling me, Shane, you're gonna die. Don't eat the bacon. And I'm like, but it's bacon. It's delicious. And so I eat the bacon, but I don't eat bacon burgers. It's like that weird multi-meat thing. And I like turducken. You ever hear this? The turkey stuffed in a duck, stuffed in a ham, stuffed in a whatever. I just can't have multiple meats. And like, just leave me alone about the bacon burgers. I understand you think they're delicious. I can only have bacon with eggs. Please respect my one meat wish, which is also the name of a great gay porn streaming now on Fuckflix. I'm just joking. I want respect.
Is that a site? Fuckflix? Is that really a...
I don't
All
know,
right.
but I want to make that the punchline, which is respect my one meat wish.
Yeah.
Being the title to a gay porn.
Yeah.
Which I think is the best gay porn name ever.
Sure. It's a monogamous.
So how is that a joke? I don't know. It just made me laugh.
It made me laugh,
because
too.
when I said respect my one meat wish, and then I said that's the title of a gay porn, I made my coworker laugh so hard.
Nice. So you
Yeah.
got to write it down.
Yeah.
I write shit like that. Like I wrote something that just made me laugh at the time that made no fucking sense. And I just wrote this. I wrote, "You couldn't smell a dog shit mustache."
and that line made you laugh.
And
It's a
after-
funny line.
I found it one night hanging out with the wife. I was just scrolling through my shit and I found it and I started laughing and I shared it with her and she started laughing. But we started thinking like, where could you ever use this phrase?
I don't know.
Like where would this ever, where could you fucking shoehorn this in? Since we've had that conversation, that was about 4 months ago, I found a way to fit it in 5 or 6 different times.
Perfect.
Yeah, I can't smell anything. Oh, you couldn't smell a dog shit mustache.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Been able to use it a few times.
That's
It's
funny.
it's never going to work on stage, right? It's never going to come up where
Well,
maybe
you
I
never
could
know.
I could manufacture like, geez, what's that smell? Do you guys smell that? Oh, I don't smell it. Right, audience member.
You couldn't smell it, yeah.
Yeah, a little crowd work.
I like that. Yeah, crowd work, crowd surfing. I like it. And the last thing that I'm working on is this. And again, it's just an experience that happened to me. I wish that it was something I brilliantly wrote, but it's just something that happened. I was at my son's saxophone. It's in a group. The school does a band night, so we go to the theater. It's really weird. I've got my current lady, my girlfriend, and my ex-wife sitting side by side.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there trying to pretend that's not weird.
Right.
And watching my son play saxophone with 100 other kids and going, nobody's doing bad. Is that him? And I don't know.
Yeah.
But everybody's doing good. I'm proud of them watching the show. And they're doing Hooked on a Feeling.
Oh, nice.
On the yeah, it's great. Right?
Sure.
And enjoying the moment and everything. And then at the end of the night, the girl teacher lady,
right.
the girl teacher
Girl
lady,
teacher lady.
She-
Fucking broads.
she's up and she's going, as kids is very fulfilling, and I'm a musician, but being a teacher is even more rewarding. And thank you to everybody for working so hard. And you too, parents, you're getting them here, and thank everybody. And all these kids are so wonderful. They're my life. Blah blah blah. And her name's Mrs. Sanderson, and she is amazing with the kids. These kids got to get up early before school to go there, and she apparently makes it all worthwhile. And they did a little tribute video for her, which was very touching.
Sure.
And then the little girl comes up, and high school band girl comes up, and she goes, "Mrs. Sanderson, we've been having things for sale out in the lobby, little necklaces and stuff that we made, crafty, and then even bake sale. Like all the money we're raising outside was for flood relief victims. But I bet you didn't know that all the money we raised is going to you. Because you were affected by the flood. She was. Her house was flooded and stuff. And he goes,
Right.
She goes, so we have raised, how much? We have raised $5,000 for you.
Nice.
And she started to cry and break down, and everybody's cheering. And then the girl goes, what? Oh, 500. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no.
So in like 30 seconds, this lady lost $4,500. And then I start laughing because I have mental illness.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is the best part of the concert. This lady just lost $4,500. Oh my God, this is high stakes charity gambling. I love it. So again, that's going to make the act, right? So
Sure.
So
That's fucking great.
These stories and these little one-liners, I'm just trying to figure out how to weave them together. And I appreciate you letting me try it out here.
Isn't it interesting? You're over 20 years in and you're still trying to find your comedy voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the constant struggle, and people talk about it. And I've heard so many comics say, "Oh, I've found my voice now. I finally found my voice." I'm not sure you ever find it.
Maybe it's the search.
It's the journey.
It's the journey. It's the comedy.
So you've
journey.
got this coming up. What else you got coming up?
Oh man, I'm so excited. Okay, so June 5th, I'm at Yuck Yucks in St. John.
That's the NB showcase.
NB showcase
Yeah.
put together by Matt Keenan.
Does this feel a little surreal for you? This like because you used to do the best in New Brunswick shows, right?
Yeah, I mean, James put up a post the other day. It was me and Neil Mundell and Lloyd Raven did the show in the Mason Jar in Sussex.
I remember that picture.
Yep.
You look odd in that picture.
I have
you look
hair
a little
in that
uncomfortable. You look like a little bit different than the other three guys.
Well,
for some
the reason I did was because I took that picture that was back for my GeoCities website. I was standing in Market Square. There's all those statue people
Right.
by the Trade and Convention Center.
Yep.
So I stood in front of them and I tried to fit in with them. And then I was like, wait, I'm not going to try and blend in. I'm going to try to be different. And, wouldn't it be funny if I looked like all these people were behind me, but I looked terrified? So I put my eyes wide open and I puffed out my cheeks and they took the picture and I love the picture.
Right.
But anyway, James just chose a very unflattering picture for that poster. But it was fine. And I was like, James put 7 years ago today, boys, and all this. And I was like, man, that's cool. And then I commented underneath, I'm like, quite a scene we've built, eh, boys? And when you said to me, does it seem surreal because of the Best of NB? Whenever I think of the Best of NB showcase, I think about you. I think about James being on that show. And I think about simpler times.
Yeah.
And
Jeff Hendry.
Jeff Hendry,
Yeah.
man. And now he's moved away and so many things are different. That's when your wife, Jamie, taught me what a sponsor was. Right, which is a big catalyst.
How do you spell it?
Yeah, I didn't even. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So Spludes have had a big impact on me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Jamie taught me that you can get companies to help you do things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Save you some money.
So that's been a huge factor in the success of Chuckles, and you too.
Sure.
For those of you that don't know, there was a period of time when Mark booked the talent at Yuck Yucks, and then
Not at Yuck Yucks.
no, sorry, at Chuckles. Oh, what's the difference? Anyway, I'm joking, Julie. I know Julie's listening.
Yeah, you're fucking dead now.
But you know what's funny is everybody else does that, and I always like, you don't even know the difference.
Yeah.
And then I just
You
slipped
don't
and
even
said
know the
it.
fucking difference.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's all comedy. And what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so Mark used to book the talent, and then I told you let's let Julie book the talent, and then you kind of got mad sad. You were mad sad at
I
me.
was mad sad. I was just more mad sad, in all honesty, that we didn't have that conversation face to face.
Yeah, because I texted it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mark got really mad.
That was my biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. In hindsight, it's great that I didn't have that book anymore.
It's
It didn't.
it's one of
it
them
didn't
things
do good
that-
things for me.
it made me sad that because I make mistakes, and I should have approached that in a better way.
Yeah, well, we all should have approached everything we did back then, you know, and these are all learning experiences,
Yeah.
Shane, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm the kind of guy like, hey, if we're gonna have that talk, I think you and I thought that I deserved a face-to-face talk on that,
Right.
You know, I'm not a big text guy, you know. I can get it done in text, but I would rather a conversation like that. I would rather face-to-face.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest hurt.
Yeah.
And then, but of course, that spirals in and compounds to what the fuck does Julie know about fucking booking shit? And she doesn't go out to any shows. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then you start. Then I started to dislike Julie.
Right.
For reasons that, you know, she couldn't control. you
Right.
know? So,
Exactly. So that whole thing, it's been, you know, now I'm not even involved in a lot of chuckles because of my irrational behavior.
Yeah.
You know, there was an incident where one of the drunks said, "I don't give a fuck about you or your comedy," and I was like, "Oh yeah, well fuck you too." And so like the battles that I've had with people in public and different things, different ways that I've behaved, I made the decision just recently, and then this was something that was happening anyway. But
Right.
I made a solid decision, and I went to Greg and I went to Julie and I said, I'm going to be involved creatively. I'm going to decide who the headliners are, and I'm going to have a vote in who the opening acts are. And I'm going to have like a vote.
You're going to have a say. You're going to have a voice.
I'm going to
in it.
have a say and
Yeah.
a voice, but I'm not dealing with members of the audience anymore other than to be positive and happy and hello.
Right.
I'm not going to deal with, like if there's a sponsor or something, like Julie's going to do it all now.
Right.
And the reason that I chose her over you for the booking, and the reason I chose her over me for the business side of it is because I'm irrational, because I struggle with mental illness. I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I don't want to fuck up business. She's so good at business.
Yeah.
Thank God that it happened. I wish it happened differently because I feel like I wronged you in that way. That I should have had a face-to-face with you and
Sure.
showed you more respect at that time. I'm glad that we're past it.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that we're still able to see the value in our friendship over the shitty stuff that happened in the past.
Yeah.
But I own that, and I still struggle with that. I still feel terrible about some of the things I did in the past. Right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though.
I feel bad about the whole Wingnuts hard times thing.
Oh fuck! Well, we can talk about. Here's the thing. Why it makes more sense for Julie anyway, and why it was a good thing for me not to be booking there, and why it's probably a good thing for you. Julie's not going to take any of this comedy stuff personal.
Yeah.
We have to. We're in the fucking industry. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
are comics.
Yeah.
So it's much more personal. Like I know when I had the book there, and you and I had the conversation about Catherine Robertson, right?
Right.
And I know this girl hates me for whatever
Does
reason.
she?
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard from multiple people. She hates me and whatever. I mean, it's you know, I
love Catherine.
I don't give a shit. You know?
I don't love everything maybe she's said or whatever, but I love her.
I don't know her as a person. I've heard great things about her as a person, but honestly, as a comic, I don't really have a ton of respect for her material. I don't think she's very funny. I don't think she should be headlining anywhere, and that's just my opinion of it.
Right.
And you came to me and said, "Hey, you know, I'd like to book Catherine," and she reached out to you for a spot.
Right.
And I tried to be as professional with her as possible. But to be honest, if I had the book, I didn't want to book her because I didn't think she was very funny.
Right.
But also there was something personal there too, you know? So I know when I had that book, there was a lot of personal shit involved in who I'm booking and who I'm not booking, maybe more specifically.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
I don't think it was healthy for me to be involved in it on that level anyway.
Right.
You know, although I am glad that I had the book at that time because I remember asking you in April of 2016. Mm-hmm. There's two shows. We had Jason Rouse for a one night only.
Oh, that was rough.
And we had Mike Dambra.
Yeah.
And at the end of the month.
It worked out awesome.
And I said to you, you know, I'm not sure which show I want to put myself on because I was due. It was 2 months up. I'm going to be on one of these shows. And you said, put yourself on both of them then.
I had very
And I did,
loose
and it was
ideas.
a fucking great month for me, you know? So I'm glad I at least had it for that long.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
Yeah.
And like Julie will bring ideas to the table that I do not agree with.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be a nightmare. No, that's not going to work. And you know, me as a comedian, okay, let's talk about Jimmy Flynn.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, Les, please. Yes.
Okay. So in the public, I have to be the guy who's like, Jimmy Flynn, living legend.
He's great.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's amazing. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then,
You're sitting across from a big Jimmy Flynn fan, by the way.
to a certain degree, and I've heard that on the last podcast that I listened to. You had mentioned you love Jimmy
It's
Flynn.
nostalgia, really, to be honest.
It's nostalgia for me, too, because when we went to, like, the Irving Big Stop when I was a kid, there'd be Jimmy Flynn cassettes and CDs everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, Pete, he was the Pete's face of Pizza Delight.
Oh, was he
He
really?
used to be on the commercials. It's right, some good.
You're kidding.
He was tickled that I remembered that because nobody remembers that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I fucking remember.
And I love Jimmy, and I love
Yeah.
Pizza Delight, and I do not remember that, but that's a match made in fucking heaven, baby.
Yep. So let me say some bad shit, and then I'll say some really nice shit.
Awesome. Yes, please.
So here's the bad shit. Jimmy is 101 joke books, very talented musician, but he is not the author of all of his jokes.
Correct.
Okay. So
He
as a
does a lot of
purist-
street
Yeah.
newfie jokes.
As a purist,
yeah.
I'm like, didn't write his own material. Da, 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 da.
It's why most comics hate him.
But then I thought, you know, he predecessor, like, I don't know that word.
Predates.
Comedy clubs.
Right.
And he was grandfathered into this trade, and people love him. So what the hell?
Yeah.
Let's
bring him the chuckles.
Let's just let that shit go.
Yeah. Now, did he reach out for a spot?
No, we reached out to him.
All right. Yeah.
And then Jimmy has his super Flynn.
Super Flynn.
Super Flynn flan. This super fan, who is a raging alcoholic.
Right.
I forget his name.
He sounds like a nightmare.
He's a nightmare.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm the reason Jimmy Flynn came to St. John. And I was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
We called him, offered him some money, and
Yeah.
then he said yes.
Yeah.
And that is why
Yeah,
Jimmy
without
Flynn's
your
in
money.
without our money.
Jimmy's probably.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a nice guy, but he's
Sure.
also a businessman.
Yeah.
So, and then this guy was like, I'm the reason I'm sitting front row. And Julie's like, no, you're not.
No, you're fucking not.
Nope, you're gonna pay $27.50 or you're not sitting front row.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can fucking do whatever I want. Now Jimmy Flynn comes up and he goes, yeah, can we get Bubba Drunk Face here, a seat in the front row? You know, he's the reason I'm here in St. John. At the time,
Jimmy came up and said that.
and at the time I was like, oh my God, are you serious? We just paid you $1,000 and you're saying that this guy is the reason you're here?
Yeah.
I was mad. I was like,
I don't blame you.
Jimmy Flynn.
Yeah.
How could you say that to
Yeah.
me? And then,
Then give me my money back, Jimmy. Give me my money back, and we'll put him up in the front row.
But later, I found out
Right.
that he quite wisely was just trying to shut this guy up.
Sure. He's an old pro. He knows what's going on.
He's an
Yeah.
old pro. He's no grass growing under his feet.
No.
So anyway, we satisfied the fellow, and he sat up front with Jimmy's wife, which he probably hated. And
Yeah.
she's
a sweetheart, though.
He would stand up and get the crowd to clap, and so became a little mascot. So all the crowd's seeing is, hey, that's Jimmy Flynn's best friend. Isn't this great?
Yeah.
Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
So I like all this shit that we hang on to as
Doesn't
comedians.
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. And I would like to take this opportunity to say to you that I am officially letting go of all of the judgment for comedy, because quite honestly, I only have enough mental energy to handle what the fuck is going on between my ears.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to not focus on other comedians and what they do.
Right.
And it took me a long time to honestly say that I believe I can do that. Because there's always going to be that part of me that's a purist and goes, geez, prop acts or whatever. But at the end of the day,
At the end of the day, it's the audience, right? And I don't want to say attack, but I talk about James Mullinger quite a bit on
Right.
the podcast. He's a very public figure. He's the most successful comic.
and
around
I have
here.
a complicated relationship with James.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But anyway, the thing is, he's a great entertainer.
No, he is.
He goes into a room and he can crush a fucking room. Now, he's not going to the fucking R bar and crushing there. That's not his bag.
But
He's got to have a certain audience.
Well, he came to Chuckles, and I feel like
Now, he was on that Jimmy Flynn show, right?
no,
Oh, he was not.
he was just in the crowd
Oh,
as
I
a
thought
fan.
Oh, shit. I thought he performed on the show.
No, him and Barry.
Yeah.
Both.
I've met Barry. I don't think he's a fan of mine after the roast.
No, that was the catalyst. That was where the bad feelings began. And I know what you were going for.
Yeah.
Like when
I was too drunk, Shane.
Yeah.
I was too drunk.
When you
I was
were
on
saying-
crutches.
when you were
it's a
saying-
complicated night.
when you were saying get back on the boat.
Ship
all
him
this
back
stuff,
and
ship
take
him back to
Burnett
England.
and fucking all your other
Yeah,
barnacles
yeah,
with you.
Yeah. And I get what you were doing at that time. You were not as developed as a comedian as you are in today.
Certainly not.
And neither were any of us. But maybe I was. But I will say that I know you were going for humor. And
On paper, it was funny.
on paper, but people were laughing. I was kind of like in between, like I was trying. What I was trying to do.
This is bad. This is
Yeah,
bad.
I was thinking it was bad.
Yeah.
I was also laughing at how extreme it was.
Right.
But I could see Barry getting upset.
Yeah.
I don't think James was super upset. I think he might have been upset. I later found out he was upset. But to look at him, I thought, okay, he gets this as a roast.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And the game here is everybody to dig at each other. And I mean, your wife like went for my jugular, which was awesome. See, I love
Man,
it.
it started with Travis Boyce ripping everybody apart. I mean, there was...
I loved it, and
Yeah.
I mean, I gave it right back to Jamie. Like she said, one of the best jokes. God, your wife has to do stand up, but she does have it. No interest,
No.
but she's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, everybody, because it was the roast of Shane Ogden, and I had just been freshly divorced, and she goes, everybody got Shane Ogden a birthday present. Even his wife got him a moving truck and some alone time. Yeah. And I mean, that is so funny.
Yeah, and it was so fresh at the time.
Yeah. So it was that powerful punch. Like it came out of your wife's mouth, who isn't even a traditional stand-up.
Yeah.
She's just a fun person.
Yeah.
And then she had the joke of the night, arguably. And then I called her a albino avatar because she's so tall.
Yeah.
And she does kind of look like, I mean, she's a beautiful person.
Sure.
So like when you look at Avatar, those blue people are very captivating and beautiful, but they're also tall and lanky.
Yeah.
So when I called her albino avatar, that was from the heart.
Yeah.
And like made her laugh, and it was such a magical night. And then you get up there and you're like, ha ha, get on your boat and go back to England.
Ship him back.
See, I'm looking at you as this little funny pirate.
Sure.
And I'm like, he's not going to be offended by this guy.
Yeah.
But they were. Like,
Yeah.
and Barry was really, really hurt. And James was, I think, not wanting to admit that he was maybe offended or hurt.
Yeah.
I later found out that was hard for him, and he didn't return to the club for a long time because of that night. And I think probably it's fueled by Barry, maybe.
Certainly, yeah.
I'm speculating on everything.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
But James and I, that night, I went up to him at the bar. I'm like, look, man, like, I hope you're not taking offense to this. I said, because all of us, and I said this to James, we can't even pretend to understand what you're doing. 'Cause
Sure.
what you're doing is not what we're doing.
No.
Like you're
It's successful, first of all. That's the major difference. Let's be honest.
You're packing out the Imperial Theater. You're doing,
Yeah.
you're going on all these tours. You have your own television show on, Bell and all this stuff. And I'm just like, man, like you understand we all admire you, right? Like, and I don't know if he knows that. Like,
Yeah.
there is the whole side of making fun of James, but there's this other side which is total respect and admiration by many, many people.
Sure.
Like I think Matt Keenan loves him. I
Yeah,
love
Matt,
him. You know
Matt
what I mean?
Keenan lives on his nutsack, first of all.
But you know what? James is fucking funny.
Yeah.
But it's just that he's.
I find him much funnier
corporate.
in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got an image too. Now, I invited James to that roast because I like James.
Yeah.
And you and him go way back from his first visits here. Never mind
Yeah.
when he moved here. I think one of the reasons that I went at him, other than the fact that I was just too drunk, I shouldn't have been up there.
Right.
But I didn't attack you in that same way. I did have some anger in my voice because I've watched it back a few times. I do a lot of self-reflection, right?
Yeah.
And I can admit that I went at him too hard. It wasn't funny because it didn't come from you could tell my intentions.
Yeah.
And I think a part of that was when he got up, he hardly roasted anybody, and that pissed me off. He really just complimented everybody in the scene itself, and usually, that would be a good thing normally.
Right.
We're doing a fucking roast here, bud. And let's be honest, everyone, everyone's going to rip you apart, but you have all the ammo. He had just come off the Harbor Station show.
Right. Yeah.
He should have been, and he
that's what
hit
it's
it
like.
a little bit, but like he did about 4 minutes of roast and
Yeah.
about 10 minutes of, patting everybody on the back, and it pissed me off a little. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be attacking people or something here,
That's
but yeah, it
that's
was
not James.
I regret that performance, that part of it, the James Mullinger.
I'm
part.
really, I'm really
regret
happy
it.
to hear you say that.
On paper,
because-
it was fucking hilarious.
Because I'm really happy to hear you say that, because one thing about James is, like, what James doesn't understand about me. I hope that he's listening, or that he will listen, or that I have an opportunity to tell him in person. I was here first, and I made a lot of people laugh, but I did not know how to capture people's imagination like James does. And a big social disease in New Brunswick is, even I call this place No Funswick, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And we are sort of plagued by this negativity,
Yeah.
And I was okay with it. I embraced the negativity.
It's the maritime, mentality.
I love meeting other people that are like, yeah, fun find a job around here, eh, Dodd?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody dies, maybe I'll get a job at the only company that owns the whole province.
Right.
We all like to bitch, and it's kind of our common thing. James comes along, flips the whole thing upside down, and goes, "It's wonderful here. You guys are awesome. I
Yeah.
love you guys."
Yeah.
And as a purist, I just saw that as cheerleading, and I resented it, and
Yeah.
pandering and all this stuff. But then I'm sitting having a beer with him, and he makes these vicious jokes about me killing myself. And he enters a room when he enters a room at Yuck Yucks, and it's just like the energy in the air is something I've never felt before. Like,
Right.
just like a goddamn rock star walks in, and then he goes up and says hello to me and gives me a hug and shit, and I'm just like, man, thank you. Like, you don't have to show any, like, I've known people that have been far more successful than James, and then never acknowledge me, or way less successful and blow right past me or
Right.
whatever. But it was just nice to know that he still valued me as a person enough, even after all his success. And even to this day will, like, send me a text, or, and even on his big busy Harbor Station day, I sent him a little text, said, man, rocket, man, go kill it and all this. And,
Right.
I'm thinking about you, and I hope it goes really good for you tonight. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. Like, we got to get together and all this stuff, so that James Mullinger would even acknowledge me and is really cool. But what I want James to understand is, a few years ago, all the electrical work that in the province, I thought, maybe for me only, dried up. I couldn't find a job.
Right.
And I had to landscape. And it was really hard for me to whippersnip Harbor Station under a giant James Mullinger banner.
Dude.
When I was like, and James will talk about me like I'm some kind of equal on a comedic level.
Right.
But the truth is, in the big scheme of things, he is at least a local celebrity. And every time that I talk to a comedian from, British Columbia or Rochester, New York, they're like, who is this James Mullinger guy that's filling the stadiums and all this stuff?
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, James, he's my buddy.
Yeah.
But is he?
Yeah.
I think he is. I feel like he is. And then he treats me kind. So I'm like, man, there's this whole other level of, like, how do I feel about James Mullinger?
I know it's been tough for you.
I have to feel like he's my friend.
Yeah.
He's only ever said nice things about me. And then I felt like, geez, I'd like to be on some of the shows with him. But then I thought, am I using him to get in front of all those people? So I've had a lot of self-reflection myself.
Yeah.
And so what I
Well, because you
found
were the
out-
big fish here, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
I
at the
guess.
time, you were maybe, really the only fish at one time.
At one time, I was the only guy
Yeah.
doing it. And then I wanted to... Did I want to grow the scene? Or did I just want a place for me to do stand-up?
Right.
And now the scene is bigger than all of us. Like, and James is bigger than he's the biggest comic to ever come out of New Brunswick.
Right.
Put it that way. And Tim Steves came out of New Brunswick, right?
Yeah.
And well, I don't know, because Nikki Payne came out of New Brunswick, right?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
So like he's definitely one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Right. And I always thought I'd make it, and maybe I still will, but I'm still struggling.
But what does make it mean? What does make it mean to you?
Yeah,
right?
And I'll leave that question unanswered.
Yeah, because I'll tell you this. This is what really got me, thinking that I this is where I brought comedy off the pedestal. I've met, and it's mostly thanks to you. I've met a lot of great, Canadian headlining comedians.
And American.
And American as well. But the ones in Canada specifically, they're not, living in fucking mansions and driving fucking Porsches and Jaguars. Like they're living with fucking roommates. They're taking the bus. The best of the best.
Yeah.
They're like, this is what I keep saying in Canada, reaching for the brass ring in comedy. There is no fucking brass ring.
No.
There is for a few.
Yeah.
But most of those have to go to the States for that recognition, right?
But let me just throw my 2 cents in and say.
So I just mean, I don't know what making it means in this country. That's what
Right. Making it for me means making my living out of something I love.
Right.
And Chuckles is starting to be more successful. We're building a bigger audience all the time. Like we've had multiple sellout shows lately.
Yeah.
That's
great news.
That has a lot to do with who we're booking.
Yeah.
I used to book
Jamie Flynn, for example.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Jimmy Flynn, Deborah DiGiovanni, Tim Nutt. These are all names that draw.
Yeah.
Right. So Mike Dambra was someone that had to come here, prove himself,
Create the audience. Yeah.
and he's created a following.
Yeah.
Which is great. Jason Rouse had a following. That was an easy sell. Nikki Payne has a following. That's an easy sell.
Mark Splude is.
But Paul Meyerhog is not an easy sell.
No.
Nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
And he's amazing at what he does. I would argue even as good as all those people I mentioned.
No shit. Yeah.
Like shoulder to shoulder with the best of the best. But
And no one knows who the fuck he is. This is,
and he will not draw, and I have to work 10 times harder to
Yeah.
get people to come out.
You'd think people would trust you by now.
You'd think so. Yeah. And they're starting to more and more.
Yeah.
But but just to update you or to throw my 2 cents in and amend what you're saying, that's an awkward sentence. What I'm trying to put out there is I used to think things were this way and that way. And now there's so many gray areas and it's so unpredictable, especially in the time that we're in right now, So I would say maybe there's no brass ring, but things are getting better. Independent clubs are popping up.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at Hell's Basement in Moncton,
Yeah.
right?
Great venue. Have you done that venue yet?
Not yet, but that's before I go, I want to mention this
yes,
big
please.
tour that I'm going on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which, by the way, you and I have to plan some stuff. We got to do some stuff.
Let's do some stuff in the fall.
We got to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're coming back in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So what I would say to you is don't be so quick to say that there's no brass ring because I'm seeing things get better.
Well, that's good.
But you definitely have, some correct assumptions about how things are for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But Tim Nutt, he was showing me pictures of his house in BC. He lives in a beautiful house. You have to have money to live where he lives.
Sure.
In Kelowna,
Yeah.
BC. Deborah DiGiovanni, not looking for change.
Yeah.
She is not looking for change in her purse.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got a money
doing all
clip.
right.
She's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Nikki Payne doesn't come cheap. All these things, I'm looking at them and I'm going, yeah, that's possible for me.
Yeah.
My son's 16, he's going to be 18, and the daughter's only 8, but, I'm going on a big tour in the fall. There's some things are getting better. Things are the best for me that they've ever been.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm still struggling. I'm still that guy that had to sleep in his truck. But that's not true.
Yeah.
Things are getting better.
Yeah.
And they're getting better for you too. I think.
Well, I think things are much better now for all comics. I mean, especially here in New Brunswick, and we talk about it quite a bit. Young comics, like a year in, sometimes a month or two in, are getting paid to do comedy.
Yeah.
You know, that's unfucking heard of back in the day when you started. Nobody was, you know, nobody on
No.
your level at the time was getting any fucking money
No.
to tell
In fact,
jokes, you know?
I can remember, this is how old I am. I can remember sitting in the back seat because he didn't know me. I was just an opener.
Yeah.
And then when I went and I did okay at the club, then I was allowed to drive in the front seat. On the way
Shotgun.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You earned shotgun.
I earned shotgun.
Yeah.
And like, that's the kind of thing that I came from. So I get this bitter old man thing about these opportunities that these kids are creating. But I take a page from the book of James Mullinger and I go, and my mother too. My mother and James Mullinger are very similar. That's a very weird realization I just had. Because my
And
mother,
his kids are fucking creepy.
my mother, yes, your kids are British, James, and they are creepy. But
Creepy.
I love them. They're wonderful kids, and I love you. But I will say that if I take a page from James Mullinger, I take a page from my mother, they're kind of the same. Because James is saying, look, everything is great. Everything is wonderful. We should be proud of ourselves. And my mother always used to say, you get more bees with honey.
Yeah.
So that positive energy, shit that looks so cheesy and hard to really let squeak through our teeth for guys that have been through the ringer like me and you,
Yeah.
there's actually something to it.
Yeah.
And it's a very good thing. And you know, don't you just want to feel good?
All the time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen if we just go, God damn it, Jesus Christ.
We got to
Fucking rah."
the way to get there is self-awareness, right?
Right,
And it comes
exactly.
back to James, like that roast deal with James.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I forget that I am a very polarizing figure. Like you know, when I come into a room, I start shooting my mouth off. I come on my podcast, I shoot my mouth off,
Which can be
And-
very funny.
It can be very funny.
Yeah.
But I leave a wake behind me
Yeah.
when I do that.
Yeah.
And it leaves people chatting with each other like, why did he was such an asshole, or why is he so fucking loud? And I don't think about that wake often. I never think about it when it's happening or immediately after. Like, just for instance, when I was just talking about Kathleen Robertson,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't or Catherine, sorry, I didn't mean to say Kathleen.
Yep.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that stuff. You know, in reflecting on it, it's like, well, why did I have to say that I don't really enjoy her comedy? And
Right.
I don't think she's got any business headlining. It doesn't.
Right.
First of all, it doesn't fucking matter what I think.
Right.
It's a struggle for me because I try to be as honest as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, people listen to this show for my opinions. You
Right.
know, but I forget that you know, my opinion, when I throw it out there, it's affecting people. The way that I act and talk, it's affecting people. It's leaving people, you know, in the wake of my fucking personality.
And let's
you
be
know?
honest, you and I were not people that always thought about how people felt. Like you and I
Certainly not.
No.
No, man.
Because
I'm not a super sensitive guy, you know.
No, I can't say
in
about-
hindsight I always am, but in the moment I never am.
No, me either. And,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of it comes from, like you said, being narcissistic.
Oh yeah.
Being very into my own comedy, into my own ego, thinking, because so many people assume that oh yes, you're a local comedian. That's very nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Good for you.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen James Mullinger?
Yeah.
You know, yes, I've seen James Mullinger. Have you ever seen
It's
Nikki
got a
Payne?
cut-
She's good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, she's good.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, so when people say, you know, oh, you're you know, this local comedian, you're the, you know, you get that seeps into your head and you go, geez, you know, like maybe I'm not as good and all that. And then
I hate that tag, local, you know.
local or amateur,
Something so
or-
negative. There's a negative connotation to that
There
local.
definitely is.
Yeah.
Like I can see you at Chuckles or I can see you at Sobeys. There's no difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you do a comedy thing? Tell me a joke. We're always auditioning.
Yeah.
For our place in society.
See,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
That's-
and James almost has he's found that loophole where he's made himself very localized.
Yeah.
But he's not from here.
that's right. Yeah.
It's such a weird
beautiful.
fucking loophole,
Yeah.
right? Because he's claiming local. You can see James at Sobeys, and he talks about it in his act.
yeah.
You know, I'm up here, but, you know, I fucking saw Sharon right down there in the audience. I saw her in fucking Sobeys the other day. I've heard him do that on stage. So, but he's found this weird fucking loophole. And, but yeah, it's funny because I'm struggling with that right now. I realize
How you
that-
affect people.
How I affect people. But the thing is, I'm always looking for the joke.
Yeah.
You know, no, anything that happens in my life, right now my life's a little fucked up. My wife just got hit by a car. She's all fucking dinged up.
Is that why she was limping?
yeah.
I just thought she had a really cool pimp walk.
Yeah, no, she got hit by a fucking car.
Ow.
And I feel
I'm laughing. I'm sorry, Jamie. I don't mean to laugh.
and I feel like I got hit by a fucking car. My back is so bad right now.
Yeah, you guys are cripples.
Yeah, but I'm still always looking for the joke in that. No matter what's going on in my life, I'm always looking for the joke. Always have. That's how I've survived.
As you should.
Right?
Yeah.
And but it's I gotta find a balance of I'm always looking for the joke, but maybe I'm hurting people in the process. Like Catherine Robertson, I don't dislike her, but maybe I shouldn't have said that because it's gonna make her feel bad. But my intention.
She is such an awesome person. Like, honestly, if she was sitting here with us, she'd be like joking around with us, and it would be like a fun time for both of us.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. But
I don't doubt it.
Is her
personally.
comedy the same as Bill Burr or something?
Yeah.
No, but her comedy's good, and it's not something that maybe everybody likes the flavor. Like, not everybody likes my comedy.
Yeah. Oh, same here, dude.
Yeah.
Same here.
So where comedy's subjective, let's take another page from the James Mullinger book, or My Mother, or whatever you want to say. Try to say the things that are good about people. And that's so hard when you are like us. Like, I mean, I feel like we have a lot in common.
Sure.
In terms of like being cynical.
Yeah.
And being suspicious. Because, I mean, I can't speak for you, but, I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop at home. Like my father was pretty heavy-handed.
Right.
And so that's just the way I was. And I thought the way I was the way the world should be.
Sure.
Right?
I still think that way.
I went around.
I still think
I went around trying to change the world around me.
Yeah.
And
makes you very unhappy.
It does.
Yeah. Because you
does.
can't be successful at it, right?
No.
That's the problem.
So
You have to adapt to the world. That's the sad
you
truth.
and I got to be more like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Remember when he said that shit
Like
about water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like water.
Like water.
It's very difficult to do. I'll tell you, though, it gets easier when you get off social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. My life has really been simplified by that.
I try to do like, if I do social media, I try to do like positive things or things about shows. So like if I throw on social media, like right now I'm planning on taking a picture of my garbage box.
Right.
Because
Didn't you do this last year?
No, I did this like 4 or 5 years ago. I built a garbage box.
Yeah, I remember you posting it, and you're like, "Hey, if anyone wants one of these built, fucking call Shane Ogden, and I got tickets too. I'll bring them right to your house."
I built one. I sold it, and the lady was unhappy because the lid was too heavy. And I was like, "Oh, I'll come by and fix it." Never went by and fixed it.
It's got to be a heavy lid, or the raccoons can get in. The fuck, people want everything.
I know. They do. They're hard to
Do you want
please.
the animals out, or do you want to,
I said to myself, I got to get out of this garbage box business. So anyway, because I didn't even have a truck, how the fuck was I going to get it to people?
Sure.
I had to like get my stepdad to help me drive it to someone's house.
Yeah.
It was awful. Anyway, so make a long story longer. What am I talking about? Oh, I live in Public Landing now, and there are bears there.
Yes.
And black bears, and they're very beautiful and majestic, but they also love the taste of garbage.
Yes, they do.
Yes. So I was lucky. There was this garbage box already built, and I was like, "Cool! Check out that garbage box. That's awesome." I put my garbage in there, and I go to my work, and I think everything's cool. Well, I get home, fucking my garbage box is halfway down the road.
No shit.
Yes.
Bear took off with it.
The lid was broken off of it, and garbage was strewn for a mile into the woods. I was like, oh my God. So I cleaned up all the garbage. I drug my garbage box back. I don't have I don't have a truck.
Right.
So I'm dragging this garbage. I look like a psychopath. All my neighbors that I won't talk to.
Fucking bear stole my garbage.
My garbage box back to my lawn. And I go, geez, that's not good. I got to do something, right? And I kind of look over at the neighbors, and I see that they've got screws sticking up from their lid.
Oh, smart.
I'm like, perfect. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the Home Depot.
Yeah.
Which is where, by the way, it's like heaven for men.
Yeah.
You go into the Home Depot, and you're just like, I got to get some lumber. And you're like, no, I don't. There's no reason I need lumber.
Yeah. That lumber smells so good.
I should be building a shelf in the garage. Like, all right, I guess you could.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's always this like excuse, I got to get this and that. And I see all the men are so happy, except for the one guy that's with his wife picking out paint. He is miserable.
miserable.
He's miserable. He just wants to come with me and get some lumber, right? So I buy some lumber, I buy some screws, and I head on back to the garbage box, and I put 100 screws in the lid, sticking up 3-inch screws.
Nice.
Sticking out.
Sure.
Now my garbage box looks, very spiky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good. He touches that, and he's so I didn't know bears were smart.
Yeah, they're pretty.
So he just picks a few planks off the front of it, and reaches inside, and like a bag of chips for him, right?
Yes.
He like picks off planks like they're nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this bear, right? So I head on back to the Home Depot. I get some more wood, get some more screws.
Sure.
Now this garbage box looks like Hellraiser.
Yeah.
It's got 3-inch screws. There's 200 screws in this thing. And I am now I'm thinking about the neighborhood kids and like, oh my God, if they ever fell off their bikes.
Sure.
Like,
What about the guy that picks up the fucking garbage?
well,
Jesus
the thing
He's
is,
got fucking Band-Aids all over him like Les Nessman.
on garbage day, I have to take the garbage out,
Sure.
cover it with a tarp, so the garbage guy is okay.
Yeah, all right.
But I gotta get some cones or paint it orange or something. I tell Ella, please stay away from this.
Yeah.
The kids don't take out the garbage. It's a goddamn nightmare. It's all this black bear. So last night, I smoked a joint, and I was out on my
Fucking dope fiend.
I know. Right? I'm what my mother would call a doper.
Yeah.
Are you a doper?
Goddamn potheads.
77-year-old. Are you a doper? No, I just had a little puff there, and I was looking out on my porch, and then I start hearing him in the woods. He's like breaking trees and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh
here
my
he
God,
comes.
he sounds big.
Yeah.
Of course, he sounds a lot bigger when you're stoned, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, come on, man. Please don't touch my garbage.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the woods.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go to bed. I'm crazy. And that's when I slept in. That's why I was 45 minutes late.
Oh, nice.
'Cause I was talking to a bear last night.
But, it's a big problem when you live, out of the city. Crows are a big fucking problem for your garbage. Raccoons, for me right here, right now, are huge.
Yeah.
Jamie will take the garbage, which is right beside the patio door, and she'll put it outside. And I kept telling her, we've only lived here like a month and a half, 2 months.
yeah.
Maybe 2.5 now. Fuck, it's been a while, I guess. Anyway, I keep telling her, do not put any fucking garbage outside. There are woods right there. There's shit living in it.
Yeah.
And I don't put garbage out. I've got access to all kinds of garbage bins all over the city.
Mm-hmm.
In my job, right? I visit properties with garbage bins all the time. There's one at
Right.
my work. So I'll just pack up. If I got a full bag of garbage, I'll throw it in the truck and drop it off, at work or at one of these buildings. It's not going to make a difference. Because I can't stand coming home and seeing garbage strewn all over the fucking place from an animal. So she puts garbage out there 4 or 5 times and nothing happens, Shane, right? Because these raccoons, this house sat empty for a little while.
Yeah.
So as far as the raccoons were concerned, no food here. But you keep putting it out enough. And sure enough, the other day, it was last weekend, I go up on the deck. I said, you got garbage on the deck? She said, yeah. I said, I told you not to put it on the deck. I go up on the deck, 2 bags, ripped right apart, garbage all over the fucking deck.
Yeah. Now the raccoons know you're here.
Yeah, I gotta get some fucking screws. I'm gonna put them all on the bottom of the. I'm gonna climb underneath the deck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put fucking screws sticking them. We're not gonna be able to use the deck, but the garbage is gonna be fucking safe out there in that deck.
It's all like war with these animals.
Yeah.
And that's the real sign of getting old.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm fighting animals. I'm
And I
thinking
have
about-
guns here, and it's illegal for me to go outside and kill these fucking animals.
Who's gonna catch
It's
you?
crazy. You're going on tour. Let's fucking talk. Talk to deadbeat daddy about this fucking tour, bud.
So it's called the greatest comedy show on earth.
Oh yeah, well that's humble.
I'm hoping that people will
So
see.
I'm closing it out.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So it's called the greatest comedy show on earth. It features myself, James Mullinger, Craig Allen Campbell.
Are you
and-
being completely
and
serious right now?
I am absolutely
Okay.
being serious.
All right.
So it's me, James Mullinger, Craig Allen Campbell.
Who the fuck is Craig Allen
and Sean
Campbell?
Collins.
Who are these guys?
Craig Allen Campbell and Sean Collins are expats. They're from Canada, but now have lived in UK for like 20 years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're insanely successful in Europe.
Sure.
And now they're coming back to Canada. And
They're coming back to move, or they're just coming for this tour?
just for this tour.
Right, okay.
Well, they're touring everywhere.
Sure.
But when they come to
On this leg of the tour.
on this leg of the tour, it's going to be called the
It's Augie and Muggins.
the greatest comedy show on earth.
Right.
And the thing is, people they don't even understand the level. Like James and I are kind of the opening acts.
Sure.
And these
So what is your role? Are you hosting? Are you...
that's to be determined. I would like James to host it because he's
that makes
such
the
a
most
great,
sense.
entertaining character, and
Yeah,
gets
he
the
knows how to
crowd
turn on the
pumped
audience.
up and-
Yeah.
But if James doesn't want to do that, I'll give him a proper spot and I'll host it. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But
Or you can switch it up, right?
what I'm really, really proud of and happy about is that these guys are the next level. Like they're very, very talented. So for me to be a part of that show, I'm just hoping that I can stand shoulder to shoulder with these guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm no slouch. You know, I can do okay sometimes. So I'm hoping that I bring my A game for 5 or 10 minutes. I'll mix it. I'll fit in. I want to fit in with this crowd.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about that tour. So, but it's only 4 dates.
Right.
You know, it's a small,
Where at? What are the
small little
venues?
humble tour.
Talk to me.
Well, there's going to be Hell's Basement
Yes.
on Wednesday, September 19th, I think.
Man, you are going to love that venue.
Yeah,
Shane, it's
I've
such a great
heard it's
fucking
amazing.
venue. It really is.
And of course, love Shannon that runs it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hell's Basement, September 19th in Moncton. Then to be announced in Fredericton the 20th. We're probably doing something with Troy.
Nice.
That hasn't been confirmed yet because he's going through some stuff.
Oh, is he? How is Troy? I haven't talked to Troy in a couple
Troy's
months.
good, but with the flooding, there's renovations to some of the
Oh, shit.
spots that he was putting his shows in, and
no.
and there's some sort of legal thing that he has going on right now with someone he was doing business with that kind of tried to rip him off. So
Right.
he's just settling all that on June 16th, my birthday.
Oh,
also
nice.
the 4-year anniversary of No Jokes Barred.
Yes. Are you on that show?
I am.
Nice. It's the first anniversary show I'm not being a part of, but I'm going to be there.
You're going to be there.
Yeah, I'm
Sweet.
gonna be there for it.
So the 21st Friday, we're at Chuckles Comedy Club in St. John. And then the 22nd, we're going up to the Miramichi. And Joe, see, that one on the September 22nd is the one James can't make. So the show's going to be hosted by Big Love Joe Butler.
Joe, I fucking hate that guy.
In the, what?
I'm just joking around.
I was like, oh, shit.
I'm just joking around.
I was like, and then I was thinking, how can you hate Joe Butler? But so we got 4 dates, and it's ending at the Miramichi Theater. I wish James could be there. He's doing some corporate thing, but the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we're doing James, and then the Saturday we're doing Up in the She.
Nice.
I'm so
is it
excited.
Vogue Theater?
No,
It's the new theater that Joe's got.
IPL or something.
Yeah.
It's got 3 letters.
Yeah. It's too bad. The Vogue was great. Did you ever perform
Yes.
there at the Vogue? What a great
Yes.
fucking venue, man.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's right. You did like a September, October of last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it was
You did
incredible.
Joe's first show there, I think. You closed it out.
Maybe so, but
Yeah.
the theater was full.
Yeah.
And I got
it
the
wasn't for me, unfortunately.
big laugh. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Could have been. Well, I was pretty upset, and you maybe heard this, but I love that picture of you at the Vogue with the
Sammy in my arms, or I was in
No,
their arms,
you were
and-
just underneath the marquee that said
Oh,
Shane
yeah.
Ogden.
Yeah, it was great.
And I pull up New Year's Eve. I mean, I'm closing out New Year's Eve. It's kind of a big deal. I
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
And no name on the marquee, blank, blank marquee.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, wasn't a lot of promotion for that.
Really?
Yeah,
And
and,
that-
it's not on Joe's side, on the building side. I mean,
okay.
Christ, man, you're in Miramichi and it's New Year's Eve, and you don't even have a sign out that you got a comedy show going on right now
That's so
that you have
weird.
available fucking tickets for. Like, come on, guys.
Joe usually does so well. I'm surprised to hear.
It had nothing to do with Joe. It was that, and that venue, that guy was.
Maybe that's why he
was
switched
ready to be
venues.
done with comedy anyway.
Oh, okay.
He actually accused me of using the N word on stage, which
Wow.
I've never done.
No,
I would
no.
never. I would never do that.
No.
I don't. I was close. I was right in this bit.
If someone told me that you did that, I would never believe it.
No, man, no.
Never.
And actually, someone did. It was actually Trevor who used that word, and he used it on purpose. He's got a good joke about his son being named after Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, okay.
Right? And he tied that in, and it worked for him. But yeah, that owner of the Vogue, he started to be like Guy,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where he started to want to kind of control the content, of the comedy, which you can't fucking do it.
And Butler is so nice. You know what he told me? He's like, yeah, this is just a better setup and da-da-da.
Yeah,
He didn't mention
he
that.
won't sell that. No, definitely not. No, because he did have a good relationship with the guy, and I think he still kind of does. But that was never going to work out.
Nice.
Especially where you got that venue. On Sundays it's a church. Like it's literally a church every Sunday. So
we can't be having.
it's tough, man. It's tough to sell a Mark Splud on Saturday and church on Sunday.
True, yeah, true,
Unless I'm in the pews saying I'm very sorry for everything and looking for forgiveness.
Well, there's still some folks there.
Oh yeah, there were still hundreds there, but not full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had fun.
Oh fuck, man, that was
Nice.
a great fucking show.
Nice.
And I had Arif and Trevor on the show. Joe asked me for a list of guys that I'd like to be on the show, and of course Trevor and Arif being very good friends of mine. I wanted them on the show, and he put them on the show. It was I couldn't ask for more, man.
Awesome.
It was I was treated like gold. It
Nice.
was it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and it was
a great road
same
trip,
With, Same with me. Like when I went up there, we were all treated like gold and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Joe knows how to put on a fucking show, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. And
Right now in his career, he's a better promoter than he is a comic. And I think if he left that promoting side, he'd probably become a stronger comic. You know a lot about that.
You could
right? You know a lot
say
about
the
that.
same thing about me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you do much better when you're, on a show that you're not promoting than otherwise.
I love that. Now, the only exception to that was the Irish show. Because the Irish show that I did on Irish Day, what's that called? St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, right.
I did produce that in terms of I paid to rent the room and I had your wife bartending with her friend Melanie.
Yeah.
And so I paid the other comics a little bit, not too much, and made a couple $100 for myself. But the thing about it was,
But you weren't invested in it. It wasn't like a Chuckles Presents.
No.
It was a one-off at a different venue.
it
Yeah,
was
a little
just-
different.
It was just Shane Ogden,
Yeah.
and friends or something.
How was the turnout for that one?
packed?
Yeah.
but it was a small venue.
Sure, yeah. That's a fucking great venue, though. I really like that art
That
center.
was everything I wanted my special to be. Like
Yeah.
It's too bad that I didn't have a filming crew there.
Yeah. I think mine was filmed. I think.
Oh,
But anytime I get these Hoveland guys to film my shit, I never see it.
Yeah, it's weird.
My headlining weekend at your club. I still call it our club.
Yeah.
I love Chuckles, man. I miss it. I haven't been out since the Danvers show.
Right.
I didn't come out for Deborah. I didn't come out. I was planning on coming out for Jimmy.
Yeah.
But something came up.
Well, it's your home club, right?
I love it, man.
Yeah, it's the same
I feel
relationship
more
I had with the Blackfoot Inn in Calgary,
Right.
When I started at that
The
club.
Blackfoot Inn, eh?
Yeah.
How many people would turn out for those shows? Was it like comparable to a Chuckles or was it much smaller?
Well, even 15, 20 years ago, the Blackfoot Inn and the Calgary Yuck Yucks was in the city of Calgary, which has over 1 million people. And just to compare, we have, 600,000 here? Or no, not even. Do we? Is that how many we have? No, we have 60,000.
yeah. You mean
So-
population here?
Yeah.
I think it's close to 80 now.
Okay, 80.
Yeah.
Say 100,000.
Yeah.
Say we're crazy and say we got
Sure.
100,000 now.
Sure.
That's still only 1/10 of what Calgary had 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So to fill the room of 300 to me is not super impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's expected
Yeah.
that in a big city you'd go to the only place that does comedy at that time.
Yeah.
Or one of the only places.
No yucks there at the time?
No, that was Yucks.
Oh, that was the yucks.
Yeah, now it's called
okay.
the Laugh Shop. Same building now, it's called the Laugh Shop.
Yeah, right.
So like when you say how affectionate you are for the club Chuckles, I get it.
Yeah.
Because that's the first kind of professional club that you performed at.
Yeah, I was a regular there.
Well, that's not true because you performed at Halifax Yuck Yucks.
I did, but those were, my very first sets.
Yeah, but you did multiple
and I didn't
sets
feel
at
it.
Chuckles.
I didn't feel at home there,
Right.
because I'd show up. I was doing amateur nights there, and so you've got Bryant Thompson.
That's why I wanted comics
Brian
to get in
Allward.
free.
Yeah,
That's been my policy since I started, and that's because I used to get into the Yuck Yucks for free in Calgary.
right.
And I used to sit at the back and watch all the comedy shows, and it kind of lit a fire under my ass because I'd watch them and I go, "Fuck, that's a good joke."
Yeah.
I wish I could have wrote that.
Yeah.
Man, if I did that kind of joke, this is how I do it. I'd love to be on that stage right now. God, I wish I had a 5-minute spot. I'd say
Yeah.
my new stuff I'm working on, and and then it would inspire me.
Right.
And I thought, if I could do that for the local comics, come in anytime.
Yeah.
If you are a stand-up comedian, if you've done even one show and you've attempted to make people laugh,
Yeah.
then you get in for free.
Man, that's what I've been telling comics all along. Like Matt Connell, right? Do you know Matt Connell?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
I've introduced him to you a couple times. He's done a few sets. He co-hosts my fight podcast.
Oh,
every
yeah,
Tuesday,
him. Okay, yeah.
He was very trepidatious of going to Chuckles. I said, man, you're going to get in for free. He's like, I've only done 2 sets. I'm like, that doesn't matter. You're a comic. Shane's going to let you in.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a bit of a miss. I want to talk to you something about Chuckles too. I got a bone to pick with you.
Good.
Good.
Always look forward to
Fucking
that.
good. We've been too nice to each other. That's what I don't like about Yucks. Sure, Thursday nights comics get in for free.
Do they?
I think it should be any night.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I know, sold out. I'll stand at the back of the fucking room.
That's the expectation I have.
Yeah.
I also expect that if you bring your spouse, significant other, whatever,
Someone buy a ticket.
Someone buy a ticket.
Yeah.
But if it's just you and a group of comics,
Yeah.
nobody pays.
Fuck yeah.
But if we're full and the customer has nowhere to sit, like first of all, if you're a comedian and we let you in for free, I would expect that you'd sit at the back.
Yeah.
And I'd expect you to be quiet during the show.
Yeah.
And that I would.
And if you can't be, go outside. Because
Yeah.
that's what I do. Because sometimes you get talking to somebody,
yeah,
right?
if you got to talk, go out, have
Yeah.
a smoke, talk, whatever.
Yeah.
There's ways to do it, but but most of the comics, like it's been like I hadn't had to have that conversation. I had to have a conversation a couple of times about the expectation that the spouse pay.
Yeah.
Which can be difficult because in the case of Jamie, Jamie sponsors the show.
She's sort of a comic.
And she is kind of a comic,
Yeah.
right? So for me, there's those.
That one's a little tough. Yeah,
gray
that one's a little
areas.
tough. Yeah.
But then if somebody sees me letting Jamie in for free,
Yeah.
but then they don't know.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of this hard thing where it's like,
You should almost make it that way. Like, hey,
Yeah.
even if there's a gray area, because let's face it, like May's done a few sets,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So
Does-
she's a comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where does it end?
Yeah,
You know,
where
all
does
these
it end and
comics, all their
begin?
girlfriends are going to go do one set. Right?
and
They're all
that's-
going to do one set so they can get in free every month.
Yeah, yeah. So then
I did
it's-
it that one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anybody could say that.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And I'd have to believe them, but for the most part, people are good.
Yeah.
the most part, people don't take advantage. So I just feel bad when I have to say no or
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I love that the comics are around. I love it when John Ford shows up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love it when the comics are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it feel more like I don't know. I love that fucking club, man. I love it. I get, even if there's no comedy going on and I walk into that building, I feel right at home.
Yeah.
I love it there. Here's a bone I got to pick with you.
Sure.
though.
Yeah. Let's do it.
The last time I had you on this podcast, you were promising an amateur night
Right.
at Chuckles.
Yep.
Starting in June
Yes.
of 2017.
That was a year ago.
I know the wheels move a little slow, Shane, but what's going on? Is that still a plan? I honestly think you guys should be firing that up right away.
Here's what's happened.
But I don't know nothing about the business either. So
Here's what's happened. Lately, there's been some discussion about the sound guy.
right, Hazen, love him.
Hazen, yeah, love Hazen.
Yeah.
But lately, there's been some discussion about him having to do weddings and different things, and then there's a thing where we're like, well, we got to get a new sound guy, but the part of the business dealings are that Greg pays for the sound guy,
Right.
and Greg doesn't want to pay more than he has to.
Sure.
He's like, I can run the boards, and I'm like, can you? And he can actually.
Sure.
So that was a surprise. Then it becomes the room setup. Like,
But let's be honest, Greg gets messy sometimes down there.
it gets a little messy.
Yeah.
Huh? He likes to have fun. But so the room setup is something that requires us to take all of the tables out of the green room and put all the tables out, put all the chairs out.
It's a big production. It's not like it's always set up to do comedy.
No, that's right. So it takes us the better part of a day just to set the room up. So for Julie and I to do that and to charge money at the door and then there was the conversation with Julie about, do we give the money to the comics?
Right.
When we have all these production costs and we're taking a day off work.
Sure.
So we're just still mulling that over.
Yeah. Still trying to find a way for it to make sense.
That's right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm like a goddamn politician, if elected. And then it's like, hey, he didn't do that. I'm like, damn
You're
it.
more Obama than Trump right now.
That's right. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, we're still got our eyes on that. And we're trying to figure out the best way to go about it.
I think it would, honestly, I think if you did it, it would secure Chuckles as the home club, I think, for most comics. you know.
Right.
I mean, you know what's so funny? I did an amateur night at Yuck Yucks, the second one that they had.
Were they paying?
Oh no,
were
sorry.
they paying the
no,
guys?
No, fuck no.
This one,
I have not. I've been on
Keenan
that stage
says-
3 times.
Keenan says they're going to pay. in this one.
Actually, Keenan paid me to perform at Yuck Yucks. It's the only time I've ever been paid by Yucks. Mm-hmm. Keenan handed me the money.
So like, it makes me confused. Like how, like Yuck Yucks must have just accepted the deal that they would sell the booze.
Yeah.
And then
Matty's
Matt
taking the
gets
door.
the money.
Yeah, Matty's taking the
And
door.
then Matt's
and he's
a nice
splitting it up.
guy and he's
Of course.
sharing it.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And it makes me think, geez, like sort of Julie's opinion on it is, well, we're taking a day off work. We're taking all these, we're paying the DJ. We're doing all these things. That we should keep the money.
Yeah. Here's what I would tell you as a suggestion. I would say, yeah, go ahead and keep the money. You're giving the comics an opportunity, to perform to a crowd, which is rare here.
That's Julie's side of it.
Yeah. So what if you talk Greg into some kind of deal where whoever's performing gets a drink, gets a beer.
Maybe.
Yeah, at least something.
Something,
right?
yeah.
I wouldn't care personally if I were performing on it and you're charging at the door and you're not giving me money. As long as you're charging at the door and you're telling these people, hey, this guy's worth money. Mm-hmm. If I don't see that money, as long as they know I'm worth money, I don't necessarily have to see that money. That's my feeling on it.
But it's it's one of those tricky things where I'm always want to be so fair.
Sure.
And it's so hard.
Well, because you are a comic, right? So you know how it feels if you don't get paid to do it.
And then I'm like, oh, they're charging money and all this. And then it's like, how much do you charge? Then you got to decide what people are worth.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
And that's the grossest thing in the world, right?
But the other side to this is, too, like, I'm trying to get myself fired up to write and to perform comedy.
Sure.
Also be a good dad. Also work a full-time job. Yeah. Also... fill in the blank.
Yeah.
What is the new fresh hell for today? Let's wake up and see what the latest ass fuck is.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, every day you wake up, something terrible is going to happen throughout the
Yeah.
day at some fucking point, right?
Yeah.
We're on planet Earth.
Like I like bing whoop like from a text and it's like so
Going to war.
Why didn't you tell me that you put the and I'm like, oh God. Just like you should have did you forget that today was the oh God, no. Whoop! It's just more bad news.
Oh yeah,
no,
always,
Yeah.
always. So anyway, no, but it wasn't. And actually, I'm mistaken. It wasn't the night I was performing. It was the first time Matt Connell was actually going to be at Yuck Yucks, and I went out to the green room because Matt's a friend of mine.
Yep.
I walked out there. Jimmy was going to be the host, and I walked out.
Jimmy
into
Flynn?
No. McKinley.
Just messing with you.
McKinley's there every weekend.
You mean Cal L?
Yes.
Cal L.
Yeah.
Yes.
And other than Matt and Jimmy, I walked into this green room. I didn't know a fucking soul. I didn't know any of these people. There was like 8 comics.
I know, it's grown.
I didn't
so
fucking
big.
know any of them.
Yeah.
And then I saw one guy that I thought I had saw before. I'm like, I think I've seen that guy once at the art bar. Evan
yeah.
Steves.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him. I was like, okay, there's one guy I kind of know. Seen him like, fuck, man, this scene is growing so quickly.
You take
what
3
do you
months
think
off.
Yeah. What do you think? And that's and I'm not worried. The first time I took a break and the scene was still growing then, I was a little worried that, here I've established my spot, somewhere near the top of this scene, but this scene changes so rapidly. I'm not concerned about it now. At that time, I was worried about a pecking order.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about any of that now. I just want to go out and make people laugh.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm not worried about that, coming back from this break.
Yeah.
What's your feeling? Because honestly, man, you started this fucking scene.
Yeah, man.
There are a lot of.
I used to feel
there are a
mad
lot of
about
hands. There are a lot of hands in it now.
Yeah.
James did his part. Certainly, John has been a big part of it. Many people have been.
So like I think it's
But you're
fair.
you're the OG here, man.
I think it's fair to say that I started the scene.
Yes.
I don't think it's fair to say I created the scene.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is a difference
I was
there.
the guy who stood out at the road with the boiled haddock sign and
Yeah.
Shane Ogden presents Jen Grant with individual 8x10 sheets of paper that I had printed off at the Staples across the street because they didn't have the letter inserts for the road sign. So, and then asking people in the Sobeys parking lot if they would buy tickets to it.
Yeah.
And like, they're like, who the hell are you? Who the hell's Jen Grant? What are you talking about?
Yeah. And this
like,
is 2009. 9, yeah.
before the 2010 show at the Mason Jar with Lloyd and Neil.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
like I really was the first guy to do it.
Yeah.
I'm the reason that it started. I'm not the reason that it grew so big. The reason it grew so big was James Mullinger and John Forward and, and continuing on now, Matt Keenan.
Yep.
All these great things that are happening.
Doing a lot.
Pop-up
booking.
stand-up
Yeah.
and
All
Hampton
that
Golf
stuff.
Course, all this stuff. Matt's enthusiastic about it, and that's great, And what do I think about it? I think it's fantastic that all this is happening.
Is it
I used
strange?
to-
Is it strange for you though? Like
Strange, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's I used to be bitter about it.
yeah.
It's like I felt
Well, it's
like
the same thing with James, right?
I
I'm
felt
sure
like
you
I
were
was
bitter about that.
I felt like I was owed something.
Yeah.
But through self-awareness, the discovery of some self-awareness, I've come to terms with the fact, hey man, like you're not the reason everything goes on or the reason, and I should be proud of what I started.
Yeah.
But at the same time, be happy for people that have taken the torch and kept the race going.
Yeah.
And built it bigger and stronger. Like all these people, that I was upset that they didn't acknowledge me or something.
Right.
And
Why aren't people putting you on a parade float? Right?
That's right.
Around King Square
That's
going,
right.
this is the guy.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Shane Ogden.
Couldn't exist
Come
without
on.
him.
Throw the roses. Right?
And I realized I don't need that, and
Yeah.
nor should I want that.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
But it took me a long time.
yeah, man.
Because like literally what you're dealing with here, I'm literally a knuckle dragging caveman.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who used to hustle tickets out of a trunk of a car.
Yeah.
I'm not some innovator. I'm just a guy who started it because I was enthusiastic and I worked really hard. And now the ball is in motion, and every once in a while all I got to do is take my stick and tap that wheel and keep it going down the hill.
Yeah.
I don't have to do as much work as I used to have to do. I do as much work as I used to, but now it's fragmented between my comedy, and because the business grew with the help of Julie, and because the business continues to grow with Greg's help and like all of the people that are around me that are, my extended family and friends, you and Jamie.
Sure.
Jamie taught me how to do the sponsor deal. Now it's a big part of our business. So all that stuff aside, I can appreciate that I'm a totally different person now. Now I go, okay, that's great. That's all started and going. Now what do I do? And now I'm looking inward and I'm going, well, let's get in touch with the comedian that I am again.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I've always wanted to do. And thanks to all the people that are helping me keep Chuckles going and all that business crap that I'm so bored with. And I now I'm able to, I have the privilege of being able to go to Yuck Yucks and do a spot, or down to the R Bar for the anniversary and audition some of my new material.
Yeah.
Now I have all this gratitude for all the people that I used to feel resentment towards.
Yeah, that's what I felt when I walked into that room. I felt resentment. I'm like, who the fuck are these people, and who the fuck do they think they are? This is their first, and it brings me back to why I didn't feel comfortable, at Yucks in Halifax when I first started.
Yeah.
Because you've got this giant, group of comics who have been coming here for, literally years,
Yeah.
every Wednesday together,
Yeah.
and they've all grown together. I'm the fucking outcast. I'm not even from that city.
Yeah,
and
that's
here
right.
I am driving in.
And now we're an outcast in our own city.
Yeah, now we're outcasts in our own city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was angry when I walked in there.
Yeah.
And I went home after the show. And of course, so I'm angry. So then when they're on stage, I'm not even really enjoying their comedy. Because I'm like, who the fuck is this person? And where do they get off trying fucking comedy like I did back in the day? This is ridiculous. How fucking dare they?
I can relate to those feelings.
It's so weird. Eh?
But now I walk into that same room and I see all these people I don't know, and I see this look on their face, and they're like, "Oh, you're Shane,"
yeah.
and that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I feel like those people are happy to see me and happy to meet me.
Yeah.
And I feel just as happy to meet them and find out what they're about. I'm excited about the new comics like that I don't know. I'm excited to meet them and see how funny they are and
Yeah.
enjoy their comedy. Whereas before I might have looked at it as competition, but now, there's that stupid thing that people say, you're only in competition with yourself, but that's really true.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be those that are better at what you do than what you do, but again, not trying to just focus on that one negative aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited about this show coming up on June 15th because I'm able to give John Ford another spot, and Michelle Petit, who I saw once. You see her before?
No.
She's got a little lobster claw nub. One of her hands is like
Okay.
not a full hand.
Is she local? She's a local comic?
Yep.
Okay.
Or I should say, no, she's not. She's from somewhere else. She's way funnier.
She's from away.
She's funnier than the people you see at Sobeys.
Yeah,
so
right.
she's got this little lobster claw hand.
Right.
Not fully developed. And she always like makes fun of it and stuff.
Sure.
And she's just wild and talks.
Where have you seen her? Like, where'd you find her? I've never heard of her or seen her.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm excited. I'm excited that she gets to shine a little bit on the show that this BMW girl is coming through. Remember I said Michelle Christine, that one night only thing?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is now I'm kind of debuting Michelle Christine and Michelle Petit at Chuckles, and then John Ford's coming back, you know, and John Scove Nielsen, John Scove Nielsen is going to be on that show.
Nice.
So he's never been on the Chuckle stage. So like this extra one night only show is actually turned into something where, you know, like I can give more spots to people.
Yeah, more opportunity for locals.
And that really makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know, like genuinely.
Yeah.
And
well, I think all the comics, like, you know, in the early days of this scene, owe you a giant debt of gratitude for giving them spots, letting them work with some real fucking comics. You know, it helped my career tremendously. It made me level up very quickly.
I'm happy you feel that way.
Oh man, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah,
and I can't thank you enough for coming on. I could talk to you all day, Shane.
Yeah,
Ogden.
man, I love this.
I'm struggling.
I wish we had another 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
It's going to be a 4-parter.
I want you to come back before the tour, and we'll fucking pump it up.
Nice.
A little
Let's
bit more.
do that. Let's
right?
do that.
So it's not a year.
Can I plug again? All
Please
my
do.
things.
Please do.
Okay.
Now I've got your battery is running low, and that's the only reason I'm kicking you out of here.
Yep.
Get to her.
Here we go. So June 5th, this Tuesday night. Nobody cares. It'll be over by the time this is released. I'm appearing at Yuck Yuck's all new material. June 16th, I'm going to be at the R Bar 4-year anniversary, debuting brand new material in front of a lot of my peers. I'm very nervous. June's filled with Chuckles comedy. Check out chucklescomedyclub.ca. Check out Shane Ogden Comedian on Facebook for the upcoming tour in September with those really funny expat European Canadian comics I was talking about. And one more time, I want to say thank you for having me on. And please check out Shane Ogden Comedian on Facebook. Add that, and then I'll put everything on there, and then you don't have to listen to my voice anymore. And look, I love all the comedy that's happening in New Brunswick, and please reach out to me. If I can help you, I will. And that's it. I'm leaving the studio.
So you've got who's at Chuckles this month? At the end of the month, who's the
Paul Meyerhog.
and who? What about July and August? Who you got?
July, Nikki Payne.
Oh.
August, James Mullinger.
Oh.
Is headlining club for the first time. Very excited to see his group.
Yeah, he's
out.
never headlined there. Yeah.
No, and he's going to bring a lot of people that have not been to Chuckles.
A lot of new faces.
A lot of new faces.
Yeah.
We found that with Tim Nutt and with Deborah Giovanni. And certainly that'll be the same case with James. Like, brings a lot of different people that wouldn't normally come to Chuckles.
Yeah.
And so we're excited for that crossover and for people to get down and see what the club we all love so much is all about.
Great news. Love that club. Love Shane Ogden. Thanks for doing it.
Love Mark Splude. Thanks for having me.
Good times, man. Good times.
How long?